Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Infinite RP and episode 27 of the Lost City of Vedranis. We're back.
We're back!
Finally. I think it's been like a month.
Too long.
Holidays kind of suck for TTRPGs and stuff, but yeah, we're so happy to be back. Hope everybody's been doing well. I've been super excited for this. So let's go around, see what the cast has been up to. And Derek, let's start with you, my friend. How have you been? How are your holidays? What's up?
Oh, my holidays were decent. I can't say that they were the best. I went to a Christmas Eve party, have fun seeing the family, great time, got COVID. What the fuck? No. Anyway, other than that, though, making our way through that, been doing nothing but playing games, trying to keep up with the live stream content. My brain has been completely mentally just full capacity of Coyote and Crow World, and I've been enjoying the hell out of that read. I finished the book and have been just now cranking out story and building of characters, and it's really interesting. New way of playing a TTRPG with the Die 12 system, and it's been really fun to go ahead and grasp. But other than that. Yeah, it's interesting. Then I'm just playing shooter games, playing pew pew games, playing Wild RP. It's been cowboy in it, or should I say, cool Chinese guy Moogle manning it. That's what I've been up to.
Hell yeah! Sorry you got COVID. That sucks.
Me too.
That sucks. Hope you're doing okay though. Hope you're doing well. But Danae, how have you been?
Good. Holidays are always interesting. It's still pandemic season, so we are continuing to do things weirdly and strangely. Breaks from norms are good. So it was a good season. It was different, but it was good. And pretty much not doing a lot different than I was before. Still playing characters that you can watch on my streams on Twitch for fun on the side. And my engagement with your Dungeons and Dragons game has resurfaced my desire to become a DM again. So over the break, I started to go back into my tomes of content that I created for my game that I started last year, maybe even a year and a half ago, that I played with players. And I reached out to a few to see if they were interested in starting up again. And they were. So yeah, that's one thing I might be doing this year in 2022 is maybe in the springtime, like bringing back my game. So that's been fun. So thank you for reminding me how fun this is.
You are so welcome. That's great. I always go through these phases where I will find like a new system and I'm like, I really want to try it out and play it, but I'm like, I need to be super dedicated to this story and whatnot. I'm like, but I want to run everything else too. I just came across City of Mist, which looks really fucking cool. So
I played that one.
I might pick your brain and whoever's played it. So we'll see. But yeah, Ray, how have you been?
Oh, typical things, pandemic times. Holidays were all right. I got to spend them with my fluff balls here, and things have been all right. Can't really complain. I've been working on a really cool writing project that I'll be able to talk about maybe in another month. And I've got some other cool stuff that's in the works, so that's really exciting. But beyond that, I'm just doing the damn thing day in and day out.
Hell yeah!
I'm just so happy I'm just happy that we're back. I'm happy to be here. I miss the Dungeons and Dragons.
I need to like remember that we're like at a very, very serious, dark, and revealing moment.
We're a very pivotal moment. So now we all have to like go in, and we're just like, all right.
So
first person to crack a butt joke gets a penalty. The rolls.
Well, all right, I'm out of here.
I was about to say, we got a prediction on which player that's going to be because I know where I'm putting my channel points. Yeah, and it's not on me.
It's either a butt or a front butt joke. It's happening. One of us is. I'll probably make it.
Front butt's a butt.
Amazing. And Justin, how have you been? What? Jeez, so direct and
great. Thank you. I'm doing great. I'm Doc Rainbow. You can do that. I am doing well. We had a good holiday. We went on vacation to a warm place. It's lovely. And came back. And while on vacation, did I sit on the beach? No. Well, yes. But I mean, did I spend all my time at the poolside bar? No, some of it. But a lot of the time I spent writing the campaign for season 2 of Flames of Freedom, which premieres on Monday here on InfiniteRP.
Ooh.
And so my head has been both there in Manhattan, 1776, and plus zombies, and also here waiting to come back to Vedranis, and also in Wild and streaming on there quite a bit. So it's been good. I've been busy, but I've missed this.
Yes, I have missed this as well. I keep seeing. I don't get to interact with Jonah that much.
But once in a while we do.
Every once in a while, you and I. There was a moment that I messaged you about
the other day. So Jonah Harper, who's my sheriff, and Roy. What's Roy's last name?
Calendar.
That's right. Who's a ranger? Who's the warden? Ran into each other in Rhodes, and I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Me neither.
And just talking hypothetically, and Roy goes, maybe not. And
Well, I think you said maybe, but
I think you're right.
And then I was like, then I said maybe or maybe not, because I'm like, you had. I was waiting for you to say it. I knew it. I was waiting for it. By the way, we have a new for you. We have a code chat command. So there you go.
We got a Vada command. Nice.
Yep.
I like it.
We're gonna work on commands for all the characters and
cool.
for all campaigns. So that's a thing in the future. But yeah, it's been so good. I've been like addicted, like straight up cocaine addicted to Wild and RP recently.
There's been a flare up. Yeah.
There's been a flare up. I over the holidays, so I had a full like week off. I played maybe 10 hours a day, almost every day over the holiday.
That's some storytelling.
It wasn't. I don't even think it was like super storytelling. Like, I mean, it was, but as like a lot of like.
I just enjoyed the business.
Getting the Rangers going, right? So a lot has happened.
Yeah.
So it's like doing a whole lot of paperwork, as Roy puts it. But it's
So you were RPing admin work.
yes,
Isn't that wonderful?
it's I actually enjoy it. It's
I
fun.
honestly have done it so often. Doing
Yeah.
paperwork for mining and whatnot. But like, I'm sorry, I got to go to the office to go sit down and do mining
Mm-hmm.
paperwork. Like the mining was already boring enough, but the paperwork on top of that, you have no idea. The goddamn taxes to go ahead and send your gems over to China is ridiculous. It's so much
It makes it so immersive though when you have that sort of stuff going on. I think like it makes it very grounded and real. And
Yeah, the boring civ stuff carries a lot of like weight, right, and meaning.
Yeah.
In terms of story, just like our characters here in Vedranis are in the middle of a very boring situation.
That's a great way to put it, and a great segue
Wait.
into what's going on. It's not boring.
Whoa.
It's not boring. But with that, yeah, let's go ahead and get into our recap, shall we? I need to remember what we did because it's been a month. Ugh. It's been a while. Last you guys left off, you had just met the former Count of Barovia, Strahd von Zarvich, who somehow found his way into the city of Vedranis. Upon inquiring more, you learned that while out and on the countryside with his wife, Tatiana, which is a different, maybe those of you who are familiar with Barovia is not the norm. They were out gallivanting, I guess you could say, the countryside, and the city of Vedranis appeared in Barovia and destroyed Strahd's home. Him and his wife made their way into the city when it disappeared once again, and they became stuck. Ever since then, he has been here in the Hanging Gardens looking to create a cure for his wife's madness, who you guys learned was one of the patients in the Kyrogen's asylum way back when that you did actually come across a couple times. You at Lady Lore, you guys are looking for a cure for the maladies of Knock and Wisp, who have had some maladies with their close proximity to the warp stones, specifically the Primordial's Eye. You guys, Lore, kind of came to an agreement with him to get the supplies necessary. But he wanted something in return, which at first he wanted Lady Lore's necklace that she kept, which she wasn't able or willing to give up. The second thing he wanted was the location of something, which she was still a little unsure of to give. He then asked for a third and final thing, which was somebody, for whatever reason, which Wisp was going to volunteer for, unknowing what it was, but you guys were able to convince Strahd that if you guys were able to go to this location that Lady Lore knew about, that she would clear the area out and give him the location of what he wanted. And he said he would go and get whatever other necessary components would be needed for this tea or potion that Lady Lore was going to make. She then took you deep into the Hanging Gardens, where you guys found a giant pit with it looked like excavation supplies, camping supplies all around it, in which Wisp came across a interesting journal with a bowl kind of printed into the leather. You guys were looking down into the pit when Nock kicked Lady Lore down into the pit, which is about, from what you can see, about 120 foot fall, in which Lore used the gaseous form spell to make her way down, and you guys all made your way down safely, except for Nock. Nock just superhero landed it. Clap.
Cratered to the earth.
In which you guys realized that you were in the presence of another warp stone, the largest that you have seen, and it is in the shape of a wrist and fist. Immediately, you felt the presence and the power of this object, and Nock grew tentacles out of his back almost immediately. And interestingly enough, Marcoris grew wings, ? Or something. We're not quite sure, but some vestigial wings popped out of his back. And then you guys all of a sudden began to hear the monstrous growlings and noises of some creatures that have come out of the darkness. And that is where we begin tonight. So I'm going to bring you guys over to the map, and I need everybody to roll initiative.
Initiative.
You're muted, Justin.
That's the way I'm playing this character now. Just reminding myself to click on the token before I roll for initiative.
Do I have to click on a token?
Yes, you should be able to click on your token and then hit
Sweet.
the initiative button, and it should add you to the initiative.
Okay. Yeah, I've super done all that before.
Definitely did not do that either. Sorry. Might be.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's been a minute, so.
But I'll remember how to click buttons.
I do. I super do. Can I type in my initiative that I already rolled, or do you want me to re-roll initiative now that I've clicked on my token?
I was just about to ask the same thing.
Yeah, you should have to click on your token and then click the initiative button on D&D Beyond, and it should take care of all of it for you.
Cool.
If not, there we go.
Okay.
So Wisp is on there. So click on your token.
Yeah,
did.
doing that.
And then click the initiative button in D&D Beyond.
Cool, yeah. I know right where that is.
It looks like
The top,
Got it.
third
No.
box in. All the way at the top.
I was
There you
that's
go.
fine. That's fine.
Perfect.
Give me
That's
a
only one less
13.
than it initially was. It's
That's what
perfect.
the gods gave me.
Perfect. I think we are there.
It
So
works because I essentially had to roll with disadvantage for my lack of knowledge.
Everything's balanced.
Exactly.
Scale.
So
Also, like for those of you watching on the stream, I like watching tiny little Danae over there,
over in the corner.
in our own little window.
Hi.
Hi.
And like Justin says in chat, you guys are about to get fisted.
Yes.
So
I
let
was
me
gonna ask, they haven't tried
explain.
sitting on the fist yet.
Yes, so let me explain what you guys
Yeah.
see. You see 4 of these creatures that have they look like those warp spawn that you've seen in the asylum before. They have sharp claws, like their skin is tied against their bones. They look very deformed, and they have tentacles kind of wreathing around their back. You also see these blue circles are patches of loreweed, which Lady Lore catches your attention immediately, and so that is what you guys see. So it is the first creature's turn, and it is going to make a run. Let's see.
Cool and fun initiative for those creatures.
Yeah. I rolled them like 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I want to be prepared. I did.
Have they been increasing? And like, do they?
Yeah, it's like
an interest.
Yeah, it's like interest. Since we haven't played, I just increased their.
You rolled a
by
10,
2.
but then over the past few weeks, the market's been really good.
Yes. So, Marcoris, this creature runs up to you.
That's not
it can't
great.
attack, but it doubles its speed to be able to attack you.
Okay.
And it is the next one's turn, which is down here. And runs up to you, Lady Lore, and is going to make 2 unarmed strikes and 2 tentacle attacks at you.
Okay.
So the first is 11 to hit.
Misses.
Misses. So I don't know what we see. Maybe Lady Lore's like going to pick up some loreweed and dodges the first attack.
I was gonna try to cast a spell right before initiative because whenever I heard
that's
this thing,
right.
and I didn't. It's super fun. It's super fine if that didn't work. But you could say that like as she was trying to cast it, maybe like she accidentally dodges.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. The second is a 17 to hit.
I'll just pretend that doesn't hit. Does that work? No, that hits for sure.
You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then a tentacle attack comes in a 13 to hit.
Hits.
Okay.
What was the first? It was 8. Sorry.
8. Yes, 8 points of damage. And then the tentacle attack, you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled.
Perfect. I love that for me.
And where it has already, let's see. Until the grapple ends, the creature can't use the same tentacle on another target. So it wraps its tentacles around you and kind of squeezes, and you feel kind of your bones begin to crack a little bit. It's not going to use its second attack, but Wisp, it is your turn. If you remember, I think you used your shadow dash to go about 60 feet up onto the cliff.
I'm on the cliff side. Am I still in dim light or darkness?
You are.
I'm in dimness. Okay.
Yes.
Then let's see. Would it be dim around the fist in the 60-foot direction that I'm currently trying to go?
I would say yes. It is a very dim light because it wasn't giving you guys enough light to illuminate. So yes.
Okay. So then I would like, as a bonus action, I'm going to see what's kind of going on. And she, from like this weird perched ledge, is going to once again, the purple shadow kind of like swallows her up, and I'm going to do my shadow step 60 feet all the way to the opposite side of the fist right here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to spend. Yeah, I'm just gonna spend the 1 key point to do patient defense. And and that's gonna be my action. I'm gonna get there, and for an action, I guess, I'm just going to try and get the attention of the other monster that is in front of me, to try and keep him in front of me instead of trying to go around. So I'll get there, I'll throw my staff on the ground, and I'll just scream at it, just to get its attention, and then I'll get into my patient defense.
Okay. Perfect. Knock. It is your turn.
Remind me, DM, the tentacles that are growing out of my body, are they growing out of my top parts of my arm, or is it my back?
I believe they're your back. Let me double check the
Your Doc Knock.
I hate you. Because that was fucking gold.
So the character grows extra useless deformed arms and tentacles that sometimes move of their own accord. So I'll let you say where they're at. The character has advantage on strength ability checks, but your flaw is the extra appendices become uncontrollable as per the Evard's Black Tentacles spell, centralized on the character, moving with them with a spell save of DC 15. So I guess, yeah, where are they? Located on Nox's body.
I mean, they could be on my back. I have too much Doc Ock fanfare going on in my fucking goddamn imagination now. I can just imagine me being like, Peter! This giant Goliath with 4 arms. Anyway, I'm going to say that they're coming out of my back. I'll say like upper shoulder blade, so it's like 2 of them. And Nock is in a weird discomfort and a sense of pain. It is bothering him to some sense. So like immediately Nock, without even a second glance of seeing these creatures and the tentacles coming out of him and him trying to adjust, he's going to enter into a frenzied rage.
Okay.
And I am going to sprint forward to this sad mother trucker.
Okay,
and
I will say that you notice that as you're moving, these tentacles are almost getting in your way because they're moving so much. You have half speed while you're moving.
Okay.
It's technically difficult terrain for anything within your area. So even like Lady Lure, as Nock comes running in, you have to like even dodge out of the way of these tentacles that are just kind of like going everywhere.
Giant slimy tentacle sounds flying around everywhere, and he's just not sorry either. His attention immediately turns to the man, and I'm going to swing my axe at the Dalgaunt.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack.
Yes. Great hand axe. Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it. 24 does hit for 12.
For 12.
And then you have your
plus 2 to for the rage.
Your rage, right? So
yeah, so 14.
14. Okay. You take a good chunk. You cut one of the tentacles almost cleanly in half. It's still there. It's kind of busted. You kind of hit it in the shoulder and whatnot. Still doing okay.
All right, I'm going to swing at it again.
Okay.
This time with the frenzied attack. For my bonus action, I'm going to swing at him again. And oh my god, there's buttons I haven't hit in forever. Yay!
Refresh.
16?
16 just hits.
Just hits. Bam. Boop. Boop. You can click on the damage now. You can stop embarrassing me in front of my friends.
That making him look stupid. Roll 20.
Is it not working?
It's not working for some reason. So 2 plus 2 would be 4 damage.
4. Okay, perfect.
And if I can be a jolly big tentacled gray giant, I'm gonna swing for another attack with my extra attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. All right, let's see what happens. This thing better get fucking
18 does hit.
For 8 damage plus 2, that's 10.
10. Okay. And so you just used your rage to do your second attack. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Is that your turn? This thing's
That's
not
the end of my
looking
turn. Yeah, fuck that thing in particular.
Yeah, fuck it in particular. Okay, it is the other creature's turn up in the top, and it will run at Wisp and make several attacks. So
It has disadvantage on all of its attacks because of my cloak.
That's correct. So the first is a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
For 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And then that stops the disadvantage, right? Because it hits you.
Yeah, because it hits me. So then I go from this like shimmering kind of like weird glitch to now I'm just kind of static. And you see like the cloak that was once kind of like glitching now is just static as well.
All right. And then the second attack is a 16.
That will also hit.
Okay, for 6 more points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then A tentacle attack, 20 to hit
That will also hit.
for another 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. No worries. I'm still good.
And you are now grappled.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
And that will be its turn. Let's see. Lady Lore, it is your turn. You have been grappled by this warp spawn. It's got one of its tentacles wrapped around you. And then you also notice that all of a sudden, Nock comes running in, and his tentacles are flying, and it that's a weird phrase to say. But it
Tentacles
looks like
everywhere.
they almost have a mind of their own, and while they're also kind of attacking the war spawn, they also are kind of swinging in your direction, and you should make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
I need to get some tentacle sound effects ASAP.
That would be, I think, a 20.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I feel like Lore has dealt with the situation before, you know, in her line of work. And she's probably been snuggled up to one of these creatures on multiple occasions. She's just like kind of knows sort of how to squeeze her little body around and kind of like shift a little bit.
Absolutely. You're able to dodge out of the way and not take any damage from Knock, or not Knock, Doc Knock. But
Knock,
it is,
knock,
you are
knock,
still
knock.
grappled, so you can't move right now. You could try to break the grapple. You can still attack freely. So.
Okay. I think she's annoyed. She looks over at the lore. How much lore was she able to gather, or was I able to gather before being attacked? Like, how much have I started to shove in pockets and, you know,
Yeah.
got all these, because we kind of spent a little bit of time before the attack
did.
came. So lore is hyper focused, so this is an inconvenience for her more than she's even experiencing fear. She's just like has never seen lureweed this huge and vibrant before.
Yeah.
So knowing kind of what she's going to be trying to create possibly for these people, how much more does she need to gather to,
Go ahead.
to stay focused?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a 2d4.
Okay.
And that will determine how much you're able to get this time around.
Okay. I believe it's a 7
7. So you're able to grab like 7 stalks of
out
lureweed.
of
20.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. So she is in this sort of like undulating tentacle knot, in the Knock who threw her into this place in the first place comes over, and she's dodging this too, and she's like knows she's got a lot of work to do. And
She's
her
just glaring
eye,
at Knock the whole time.
yeah, the
freaking
whole
her out.
time she's just like and her eyes, which are discolored, one begins to glow this strange sort of color, as do the mushrooms on her shoulders, and they just begin to kind of like and like shift. I'm gonna cast my my special circle of spores. I'm going to use a wild shape and activate my fungal infestation.
Okay.
No, wait, sorry, that's not it. It's called symbiotic entity. So I can use wild shape to awaken spores that infuse me. So I get 24 temp hit points first of all. And
Shit.
I will be rolling double damage for my halo of spores, which I will be doing next to this creature in front of me. And if I'm able to use my weapon, I can do additional damage as well. So that is the first thing that I'll do. So I'm going to gain 24 temp hit points, and then I'm going to, that's my action. And then as a reaction, I'll do Halo of Spores, which for those of you guys watching, if you don't know what that is, I can use my reaction to deal 1d6 damage, necrotic specifically, to a creature when it moves into my space within 10 feet of me. So if it comes into my space or if it starts there, it also will have damage done to it.
Mm-hmm.
If it fails the con save, which for you is a DC 15. So I need to know if you...
Con.
Yeah.
It rolled a 16.
So that won't do anything this round, but next round we'll have to do it again every time this creature's within 10 feet of me. And that, I think, is everything I can do this round.
Okay. Yeah, so you kind of, all this like little puff of these spores, whatnot, kind of erupt from the mushrooms and whatnot. And as kind of they clear out of the way a little bit and you're able to kind of see, you take a look up at the top of the fist, and you see a little white rabbit just kind of watching.
And blow it a kiss.
And then you hear a voice in your head, and you see the rabbit's mouth move. But the voice doesn't match because it says, rebuild. And that's all you hear. And it comes from this little rabbit. And it's, I don't know, like, what is...
All right, Jefferson Airplane, come on.
What is Lady Lure's reaction to hearing this?
The scariest rabbit I've ever heard in my life.
She like her spores kind of like begin to fade. I kind of see him, you know, like the spores that grow or that glow rather. I don't remember the name of the glow off the top of my head, but it's like this a bioluminescence sort of like, you know, glow. As it kind of just like begins to fade as her magic kind of comes back into her center, and she looks up and sees, and she's like, oh, bitty, I will.
Amazing. Okay. It is the third Dolgon's turn. It is going to run up also to Marcoris. This time it can attack.
Uh-oh, that's not great.
The first attack is a 25 to hit Marcoris.
Oh, yeah.
That you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ouchie.
The second attack is an 11.
That does not hit.
Okay, so that misses, and then you see a tentacle come swinging down to try to wrap it around your neck, and rolls a natural 20.
Ugh.
So you take, that would be 16 points of bludgeoning damage. And you are grappled by this thing.
I don't get a save?
Not on the grapple. Like, you're grappled on your next turn.
Okay.
You can try to break the grapple.
I got it.
So it's just in addition to the attack, once it grapples you, it just is an automatic grapple.
Oh, shit.
So that's its turn. You are now surrounded by two of these things. It is Jerry.
Marcoris is wrapped up in this tentacle, and Jerry looks at him with mild professional concern, and Marcoris commands him to just like mentally. You don't hear this, but he's like, go help Lure pick vegetables or whatever. And Jerry's going to fly in the direction of Lure, and he's going to grab as many as he can.
Okay. Yeah. So if you want to move him to where he is going,
Sure, happy to. He's gonna go. Jerry's got like 30 flying, so he's just gonna right over here.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Ooh, okay. The 3.
Okay. So as like Jerry picks up, roll a d4 real quick for me.
Okay.
As well.
That's a 1.
One. So he grabs one of these stalks, but he notices it's a little stuck in the earth, and he pulls even harder. And instead of like him seeing these roots or anything, he sees this creature kind of erupt from the ground in the water. What you see is this almost amphibious looking lizard that has what looks like a loreweed, like angler stalk on the top of its head, and he grabs
it's a Bulbasaur?
It's essentially an anglerfish with legs, and it gets a attack on poor Jerry.
Jerry pulls. He's like, "I am not a gardener," and he pulls it up, and he's like, "This is." No. He looks over at Lure. He's like, "Is this normal?"
He takes 9 points of slashing damage from this.
He's still up by 1 point.
You can see the creature right there. Ow, exactly. Is there anything else he wants to do? He's only able to grab the one, at least.
So my question is him trying to pull this, is that an action?
Yes, it would be an action. Yeah.
Okay, then he has nothing else he's going to do. He can't, he fly away from this thing, but he doesn't want it to attack him again because he's almost dead anyway.
Okay.
And so he's going to wait, and instead, I guess Marcoris is up. Yeah.
Yes, it is Marcoris's turn.
Okay.
You are grappled currently.
Okay. What's Marcoris going to do? I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, I know what he's going to do. So he looks at this thing grappling him, and he looks unusually like just sort of like calm and sort of not interested in this thing. And he reaches out and touches one of the tentacles, and he's going to cast Vampiric Touch at 3rd level.
Okay.
That is a +7 to hit. So it is an 18.
18 does hit.
Okay. This boy takes 13 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. Which one are you targeting? The one right in front of you?
The one who's grappling him.
Okay, so the one right in front of you. Okay.
Takes 13 points of necrotic damage, and he just like holds his hand there. And you see that like energy flow up his arm into him, and he gains 6 of his own health points back as he sucks it out of this creature.
Hell yeah, I love it.
And then he's just sort of like, stay here all day, buddy. Come on.
Perfect. All right. It is the first Dolgok's turn again, which is on you, and it is going to take a couple attacks at you. 16 on the first hit.
Yeah, and I would say that if I'm grappled, does he have advantage?
No, if you were restrained, he would.
okay.
Grappled,
Okay,
just
My saves
you
suck.
just can't
yeah.
move. You can't move.
Okay.
You just have no move speed. So you take 6 points of damage.
Okay. Ow, I just got those back.
The second unarmed strike is an 11.
That misses.
Misses. And then a tentacle attack is a 21.
Oh, yeah.
Which you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are restrained by this, or you are grappled by this.
So I'm doubly restrained.
You're doubly grappled, which doesn't technically do anything.
I need to roll a concentration check on Vampiric Touch because he's still maintaining it. So that's just a d20 roll, right?
Yes.
I don't remember how to do a concentration check. Anyone know? Anyone?
You have to get above your. It's 10 or
It's 10.
above. That's what it is. It's just a base like 10 or below.
It's-
You leave
yeah,
it 10
so
or
based
above.
on your damage.
It's just like a death save.
It's based on the damage, so it would be.
Oh,
yeah, it's 10 or half of the damage, I believe, or like
Yes.
DC plus half or something.
It's something like that.
Go ahead and roll. We'll figure it out.
We'll see how it goes. It's a 12, so he probably drops the spell.
Let's see.
I mean, he got hit twice, right?
He did get hit twice. It would have been. He would have had to make two checks.
Okay.
So I would say the first one saves. Go ahead and roll the next one.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll one more concentration check.
Yeah, player makes a Constitution saving throw against a DC of 10 or
Oh.
half of the damage received,
Oh,
whichever.
so it's a
is higher.
con save. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you're.
It will
good.
be a 15 plus 2, so 17.
Okay. So yeah, you succeed on both of those. So you
Okay,
still
so he
maintain
keeps it up.
concentration. Yep.
Okay. Great. Yeah, he's not happy, but he's up.
Okay. It is Dolgaunt 4's turn, the one that is currently grappling Lady Lure. Lady Lure, all of a sudden you feel this energy and your vitality begin to be sucked out of you as you take. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, that is a 13. And yeah, 13.
Okay. You are able to stave off any effects of this. The creature will take an attack at you and 2 attacks at, or it can't do 2 more attacks. It's going to take 1 unarmed strike at Lady Lure and 1 at Knock. So the first one on Lady Lure is a 24 to hit,
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
which is 7 points of damage. And then on Knock is a 14 to hit.
Suck eggs,
Suck it.
Dalgonto.
Yeah.
Yeah, bastard.
Is a miss.
It's like their tentacles just slap each other.
Just a awkward high five.
Just like,
amazing.
That time must be wonderful.
like siblings who just can't stop like fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. Okay, Wisp, it is your turn again. You
All
are
right, so
currently grappled as well.
I have some clarifying mechanic questions.
Yes.
My staff, which is wrapped and grappled with me, it says shadow in a 5-foot radius. Would that be considered dim light?
Yes.
Okay. So since it's with me at all times, do I constitute as having dim light with me at all times?
Yes.
Okay. That being said, I would like to shadow step out of his grapple to the spot behind him, if that's
Okay.
allowed.
Um,
Or do you want me to break free and then I can do that?
that's a good question, actually. Because what is the ruling on shadow step? Does it say teleport?
It says I can teleport up to, where is it? When you are in dim light or darkness, as a bonus action, you can teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space you can see that is also in dim light or darkness. You then have advantage on the first melee attack you make before the end of your turn. And since I have my staff with me and it's grappled with me, I'm in the 5-foot dim light that it has.
Okay.
So that's why I was asking mechanically. I don't want to be OP or anything, but just in this instance, trying to use that to my advantage to get behind him.
I would say if you are grappled, yes. If you are restrained, no.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
yes, you can.
Cool. So then I'll just be like, ha! She'll like kind of smirk at him, and then I'm going to teleport from where I am to literally just the space behind him.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take my staff, and with both of my hands, I'm going to try and like shove it like towards, like kind of like pin it towards the to the fist. So I'll do a 2-armed attack with my staff for my first hit. Oh my god, wrong actions. Here we go. So it's a 23.
23. That does hit.
So that'll be max damage for 2-hand, which is 12.
Okay.
And then I get a second attack with unarmed strike. So now as I'm kind of like holding it and like I hit it and kind of pinned it, I want to headbutt it.
Okay.
With my unarmed strike. And that's a natural 1, which is an 8. So I do not headbutt successfully.
Fortunately not.
And as that happens too, my cloak kicks back in, and I'm like this shifty kind of glitchy shadow now.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
But that's my turn.
That's your turn. Okay. Knock, you are up.
See, I am going to swing my great axe, but pick that bad bitch up as high as I can and see if I can crush this thing with an attack.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll your attack.
It's a I think it's not a natural 20, but it's 20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty.
That does
So
hit.
dirty. So dirty. 9 plus 2, 11 damage.
You absolutely cleave this thing in two as
Yeah.
it breaks the grapple from Lady Lore. Blood and guts kind of go smattering across the ground and over the pair of you. But he is definitely kaput.
Kaput.
Good job.
And as I cleave this thing in half, it's not even like it's like one foul movement. Like I cleave it, and I'm still like I imagine Knock in an uncomfortable grunts and screams. He's like as he just like jumps away from here and starts running towards this direction at half speed. If I'm correct, so that would be 22 feet. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and start moving my way over towards, like jump over the corpse and then just start running towards this fellow over here. I mean, you know what? Actually, I'll try. That should be awkward. Because I have an extra attack, as well as the frenzied attack. Frenzied attack. I'm gonna shoot a firebolt at one of the Dolognes. Dolgunt.
The
Lobos.
Yeah.
The
Lobos.
Sí, senor. No, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and
in a former life, these things did definitely have that sort of accent. But
I can't.
Go-
All right.
go ahead and make a ranged attack roll.
That's
It's a
natural
D20.
20.
Oh my god. Okay. So go ahead and roll it. I believe it's a D10.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. That's a 10. 2 damage.
So
Yeah,
you do the
baby.
max of that, which is 10, and then the additional 2 for the crit. So you do 12 points of damage. Which one were you targeting?
The one that's in front of Macoris.
Okay, perfect. He's not looking good as you like all of a sudden you see this blue flame just kind of erupt around this creature, Marcoris, and you see Nock running as he's shot a fireball at it.
Can I be a pain in the dick and now use my bonus attack after that frenzied attack? And I'm going to throw the Ch'Tool's Fang at the same one I shot a fireball at.
You can.
It is a melee weapon.
It is a melee weapon.
This is like the 5th time he's tried to do this.
Yeah, I know.
Dude wants a throwing weapon.
Go ahead. He used to have one too. Is the problem?
I used to have one.
Go ahead.
Very, very quickly, Lacuna. I forgot that I do an extra 2 points of damage because it's a successful hit. So I do cold damage.
Cold damage.
And he has no reactions until the end of its next turn.
Perfect. I will take that away now. I will allow you to make a third final throwing attack. It will be at disadvantage to throw Ch'Tool's Fang. You can certainly try.
19 and 12.
Okay, so 12 plus your dexterity.
Plus dexterity would be a 1, so 13.
13, it misses, unfortunately. And
Yeah,
Ch'Tool's
so-
Fang, as it's multiplied, goes clattering across the ground. It like submerges itself in the water because there is like a little bit of water.
I'm remember to grab that. Yeah.
I have to know, if he had crit failed, would that have hit Marcoris?
Yes, it would have. 110% it would have.
It's definitely at this point where like the sword is a smallest sword. Nock looks at this thing and goes, "This is a throwing knife. This is not a sword." So like him running around, cleaving the hell out of one guy, running in full sprint, shooting a fireball in one hand, and throwing a sword with the other. I'll end my turn.
Okay. Perfect. It is the Dolgaunt 2's turn. It is going to continue its onslaught against Wisp. First strike at disadvantage is a 21.
Fuck yeah.
For 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right. We a monk. We okay. We hardy.
Yeah. The second, a 25 to hit on the tentacle attack.
Mm-hmm.
So you
That'll
take
hit.
10 points more of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And are
keep it going.
grappled again.
Sure.
All right.
Well, I can play this game all day with this guy. Let's go.
Okay, Captain America. I could do this all day.
His ass. Vedranis' ass.
Lady Lore, it is your turn. As you are picking up this lore weed or whatever you decide to do, again, you look up and see, what's your bunny's name again?
Bitty bitty.
Bitty Bitty. You see Bitty Bitty, but you see something on its back. You see something behind it. It looks like this like dark, strange ichor. And you see Bitty Bitty jump around the fist. But it looks like this ichor is kind of pulling it and making it do the jumping. Again, you hear rebuild. All of a sudden there's a flash and you see this giant pit. It almost looks like a mine shaft of just this bright green glowing, this bright green glow rather. And you see people standing around this giant machine is all that you can really describe it as. And they're wearing clothes like that blonde guy behind you is wearing, and you turn and one of them turns to you and looks at you, and you see that bowl embroidered in their clothes, and then the vision's gone. What do you do?
Lore stands up. She's covered in the goo of this eviscerated creature that has just been decapitated, and she, like, the ichor kind of like drops in her eye, and she's wiping her eyes and having this vision at the same time. I think she tries to kind of look around a little bit, but doesn't really notice the rest of the party or what's going on. I think it's all about the Bitty Bitty. She's gonna scramble up the fist.
Okay. Yeah, you run up to it.
This is her. This is her little buddy that's been with her for so long. So
Yeah.
she's a little worried about that. I'm gonna try to scramble up the fist to get closer.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check really quick.
Okay. I know how to do that too. Watch me.
Watch me.
That would be a 9.
9.
I'm very Icarly.
Yeah, you're having a hard time finding a good handhold on this, and are unable to actually climb up.
Okay.
That would be your movement. You still have an action and a little bit of movement technically because you're not able to make it up.
She's going to, like, in frustration, go "Wah!" and grab her staff, bonus action, cast Shillelagh just to kind of get prepared. And she's like, her hands start to jitter, and she's going to. So I've got my action that I can still do. Oof. Oh man. Is the creature that died near me beast or humanoid?
You can go ahead and make, as your action, you can make a nature, medicine, or arcana check.
Okay. I wondered if she would have seen it before since she's done this before.
She hasn't seen anything this
Okay, so it would be
bad before.
Okay, an action to do would nature, arcana,
Or medicine.
or medicine. Okay, I'll do medicine.
Okay.
Oh, that was almost a nat 20. It was so close.
12. You know that this is some sort of aberration.
Okay.
Though there's something like oddly peculiar about these aberrations that you can't, in the heat of the moment, can't quite put a finger on.
Okay. Well, with that being her action, bonus action's done. Man, I think that might be everything I can do because everything else is out of my range. Oof. I'll
still
spend
have a little bit of movement, but
Can I try to get up on another level of the fist again?
I'll give you one more athletics check to see if you can make it up. You won't be up
The
this
14,
far, but
I think. Yeah, 14.
14. I would say you're able to make it up on like the first little ledge of like.
Like the little,
Yeah, the
or
little.
something.
Yeah, there's a little handle you can find. You're still maybe 20 or like 10 or 15 feet away from Bitty Bitty.
Okay.
As
All
you
right.
can see it just hopping around. And each time it hops, you hear rebuild, 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 rebuild. It's just saying the same thing in that ominous voice as it's just hopping
Okay.
around, seemingly carefree, but there's this weird thing attached to its head.
Okay.
It is the other Dolgaunt's turn, and it is still grappling Marcoris. Marcoris, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okey-dokey. That's a 16.
Okay. You feel this necrotic energy begin to try to seep out the health and vitality of yourself, but you're able to shrug it off, being so familiar with it with your vampiric touch. It will try to attack you twice, a 10 and a 9, so it's going to miss both attacks on you.
I got a quick question.
Yes.
The damage that Marcoris took before, is that necrotic damage?
No.
Okay.
It was bludgeoning. This one would have, but you're able to.
Okay. Yeah, let me know if it's necrotic. Just no reason asking for it.
No reason whatsoever.
Okay.
Okay. It is this little angler lizard's turn.
Well, okay. Time out. Isn't Jerry before him? Because Jerry pulled him out, right?
Yeah, but we did a whole turn without it acting.
Oh, it was just
went
lying in wait.
Okay. Yeah, it had a
All right,
prepared
fair,
action.
Fair.
So I'm keeping them at the very, very, very bottom of initiative, essentially. Actually, you would actually be right. I'll
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So it would be Jerry's turn. Sorry. I'll keep them at the
Okay,
very
in
bottom.
that case, Jerry gives this thing the finger and disengages.
Okay.
And just it's like no, and he's going to fly to a different patch of lure weed.
Okay.
So this one that Lure was at, the first one, did she pick that one clean?
Not quite. There's still a bit there, and it's one of the heavier patches, so he might be able to get some good.
He's gonna go over
handles.
there and try to pick some more of that.
Roll a 2d4.
Okie dokie. 5.
So you guys have 12 out of 20 lore weed.
He's got these little imp arms full of lure weed.
Yeah.
I have this many.
I need you to roll another d20.
Okay. Comes 4.
Poor Jerry. He pulls
D20s
out
hate me.
another creature.
No.
Actually, no. There's not one there. Never mind. Never
Okay,
mind.
good.
There is not actually one there because never mind. He's good.
Good. I'm a gardener now.
Is there anything else that Jerry wants to do?
I think he's going to use whatever's left of his movement 5 to 15 to like kind of keep moving further away from that lizard thing.
Okay.
No, so he just ends up somewhere like probably here.
Okay. Perfect. Marcoris.
Marcoris is up, and Marcoris is still has vampiric touch enabled.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to look at this one that's almost dead right in front of him, and just in a voice that maybe you've never heard from Marcoris before, for those who are within earshot, he just sort of keeps holding on to him, like struggling to hold on to this tentacle. He's like, "Give me what you have left," and he's going to like try and suck more life out of him.
Okay.
So that is going to when I do a vampiric touch.
It just stays, so you need to make another.
Yeah, so here's what happens is until the spell ends, you can make the attack again on each of your turns as an action. So it says make the attack again, not roll damage again.
Oh, okay.
But he doesn't use a spell slot to use it.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I
Yeah.
believe that's how I'm reading it. So he's going to roll again to hit this thing with the necrotic touch. That's a 21.
That does definitely hit.
And he is going to do 10 points of necrotic damage to it.
Okay.
And he'll get 5 back.
Perfect. And you suck whatever remaining life this creature has, and it collapses into the murky water.
And he's still being held by like the other one, but like really coldly. And I think Nock might be the only one closest enough to see this. Like sees that his eyes are just pitch black, like Vanta black. And he turns to the remaining one. He's like, "You're next," like that.
Okay.
And that's the end of Marcoris's turn.
Okay. Marcoris, at the end of your turn, from the far north, there are, of this cavern, there are tunnels. There are 2 sets of tunnels heading somewhere deeper into this cavern that aren't open to this pit. And there's been a green glow, or there's been some, like this dark green glow coming from that direction as well. All of a sudden, you hear like a, as like something steps.
He doesn't even respond. He's so like tunnel vision. He hears it, but Marcoris has been taken over by his patrons.
Okay, yeah. It is the Delur's turn, and it is going to skitter its way over towards Nock, and it's going to make a couple of attacks. 2 attacks at Nock. The first is a 11 to hit, which I believe will miss. The second is a natural 1, so it's a 6 and it misses. You see this creature that's maybe comes to about your waist. It's on all 4s, comes swinging at you. You just brush off the attacks with ease. And that's its turn. This other Dolgaunt is going to try to do a vitality drain on Marcoris, so I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
That's a 6.
A 6. You take 12 points of necrotic damage.
He takes 6 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. And he would gain some health back, but isn't full health, so it does not. It's going to take 2 unarmed attacks at you, because it's still, because these things are ridiculous. 24 to hit.
Yeah.
For 8 points.
Okay.
And a natural 1, so it misses.
Okay. Marcoris is still focused, but looking bad.
Perfect. All right. Wisp. From above you, like back and behind, you see Aiden up on. He's perched up because he never went down. And
He never got down, yeah.
He never got down. He is howling and barking, kind of pointing in your direction, almost like past you.
Okay.
And he seems to be kind of going a little crazy. Like,
Can I try to follow his eye line to see exactly what he's looking at?
yeah. And you do, and you kind of look behind you, and you see these two tunnels, which are maybe about 15 feet high.
Okay.
And there's this green glow and this hum.
Okay.
Like not like a warp stone hum, like an audible hum.
Like someone's making the hum. It's not just like the
No,
air.
It's like a buzz in the air.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
And you also hear and see a big foot go, and it appears to
Okay.
be made of stone.
Okay. She's going to kind of like very quickly. She's gonna look, recognize, disregard, and then turn back. I'm gonna shadow step and use my bonus action to come on the other side of him once again, and do a two-handed attack with the staff against him with advantage.
Okay.
So 20.
20 hits.
Okay, so that'll be 6, 7, 8, 9 points of damage. He'll lose his reaction once again.
Mm-hmm.
I want to use my so she'll put one of this, she'll kind of flick the staff and hold it in one hand, and I want to try and elbow it with my unarmed attack,
Okay.
which is a natural 20.
Nice.
So 6, and then I roll a d6, so that would just be doubled in 12 because I got max
So
damage.
yeah, so it'd be the max, yes, of 12.
Okay, so 12 points of damage. And then with my movement, since it doesn't get a reaction, I want to move this way. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Actually, no, we're just going to go 5, 10, 15. I'm going to move 15 feet back just to
Okay.
create some distance. Oh, wait, did I
And
kill
you-
it?
you killed
Would
it,
I
you killed it.
recognize that I killed it?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
then I'm going
absolutely.
to move my full distance. So 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. I'm going to run all the way around the fist to the other side.
Okay. Perfect.
And that'll be my turn.
All right, Knock, it is your turn. You're muted.
Hi. I'm going to level myself off, and then I'm going to use my feet charger to charge a Dalgaunt and attack it with my great axe. Can I stomp on the body that is on the ground, or can I technically attack him even though he's there?
No, you
That's
can like
okay.
stomp on the body. It's collapsed to the ground.
Sweet, yeah. So I epically squish this Dalgaunt on,
Okay.
on the floor, this Dalgaunt pie, and I'm going to use charger on this motherfucker.
Okay, as you run away, this Delore creature gets an attack of opportunity on you and rolls a 21 to hit.
That is successful.
And you take 8 points reduced to 4 points of slashing damage because you're raging. Slashing damage.
Grab the bird. Fantastic. All right. I'm gonna go eat this guy. Charger, go get him. There's an 18.
That does hit.
Fantastic. All right. And because it didn't do my work there. Oh my god. Well, 1 plus 5 plus 2, 8. Did 8 damage
points.
on that.
Okay.
Yes. And I will then
Can you push
use
him
my,
back or?
no, so it's just it either adds 5
it adds the
damage
5.
onto it or pushes him back 10 feet.
Right.
So that was the 8, a very lackluster attack. But it hit him for 8. I'm going to hit him for my frenzied second attack as well.
Okay.
It'll be a 24.
That does hit.
That is 6 damage overall. And then last attack for my second attack, and that will be the last one. Be 18.
18 does hit.
10 slashing damage onto that, plus 2 is 12.
12 points. Okay, he is not looking good. Is that your turn? I think that's your full.
That would be my full turn, yes.
Okay, perfect. Lady Lore, it's your turn.
Oof. Okay, so I'm over here rolling dice for Lady Lore's mental state. She's gonna she's really focused on this fist. So she looks up and essentially she sees Bitty Bitty, and she's gonna call out to her companion and say, "How?" Because she's getting kind of worried and she's never seen Bitty Bitty act like this before. So she's gonna try to get a little bit closer to see if she's in trouble. This ichor stuff, is it attacking Bitty Bitty? Can I tell from
Yeah,
here?
so as you move closer, you can see that there's this form behind Bitty Bitty. There is this aberrant form. It almost looks like a creature, though it seems made of that ichor and maybe shadow. You're not sure if it's real or not, but it is definitely attached, and it almost looks like it's a hand or a fist holding Bitty Bitty's head, just kind of plopping it around. And in response to your question, there's another flash, and you see this gargantuan machine in this kind of pit that you'd seen, but you see it now there, which wasn't before, a gargantuan stone being that looks to be made of obsidian with these green veins kind of coursing through it. Much like the fist, you see this thing fully intact, and it is massive. And all of a sudden there is a flash. The creature begins to move, and all the people around begin to there's no voices, but you begin to hear, you get to be able to see them running in panic, and all of a sudden there is another flash and an explosion, and then there are pieces that just go flying into the sky throughout wherever you're at, and that's where your vision ends.
Okay. She is going to do a mental link. This is the first time she's felt like Bitty Bitty's talking to her, and this is something sorry, party. This is huge for her. She's going to use her action to mind link with this creature, with Bitty Bitty. You can speak telepathically to any creature that I can see within 60 feet. I don't have to share language with the creature to understand it, but it has to be able to understand at least one language. So that's essentially, I don't know if that's what we just did or if I can move in a little bit deeper, but that's what she's focused on right now.
I'd say you could probably move a little bit deeper.
Okay. So fully focused on this, she will say, I think she's putting some pieces together in this moment, a little bit she's grasps her necklace and she just says, "What do you want me to do? I'll do anything." And she'll just try to get as close as she can to Bitty Bitty.
Okay.
Essentially just, I'm here, and I think she'll end with "lend me your power," and that's it.
Okay. In response, you hear this little rabbit voice,
Little rabbit.
and it says,
Can we hear the rabbit voice, please? Oh,
yes, in a minute when I am ready.
Oh.
You're rebuild me.
It's you, Bitty
Put me
Bitty.
back together.
Oh, Okay.
coming back together.
Okay.
And then it like you see it jump, or what would be a jump, but this hand pulls it up towards its face, and you see this weird being holding Bitty Bitty, like almost like by this like weird Icarus hand, and it says, "Rebuild me," and it like hops back down again. And I think that's all you get.
Okay. Okay.
Nope. Don't like that.
And in addition, you hear coming from the tunnel, you hear another, and the glow from one of the tunnels becomes obscured as whatever is approaching you is blocking the light coming from this tunnel. But it is Jaraxius' turn.
Okay. Jaraxius is halfway to another patch of lureweed when he notices the strange woman climbing up the fist towards this thing. I'm gonna roll, what would you say? How about an insight check to see if you can figure out what's going on with her? Would that be all right?
Sure.
Okay. This is a Jerry insight check.
Jerry.
Jerry has +3 to insight. It's a double. A 10.
10.
Your call, DM. What can he get out of this? Like what she's doing? Does he notice that she's focused on something he can't see? Like she's
Definitely. She's almost like spinning in circles. And what we see in Lady Lure's eyes is Bitty Bitty hopping in circles. But
Right.
Lure, there is no Bitty Bitty in.
is
in
Lure.
Jurassic.
Remind me, is Lure climbing up this thing still?
Yes. And she's gotten to like kind of the top of the fist.
A knuckle.
The knuckle, yeah. And again, Lady Lure sees Bitty Bitty hopping in circles around her. Jaraxius sees nothing except Lady Lure like spinning in circles, like watching the ground.
Okay. Does Jerry have enough speed to get to her?
What? He hasn't moved it yet, has he?
He hasn't moved yet this turn. He has 40 feet of flying speed.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. He drops the lure reed where he is, and he flies up towards Lure.
Okay.
And he like hovers in front of her and grabs her by the face in his tiny little Jerryness, and he says, "I don't know who you're talking to, but they're lying to you. We need your help. My friends are in danger."
Okay. Is there anything else Jerry would like to do?
No, I'm gonna let
Kisser.
Danae figure it. Yes, and then the kiss is there, and then we start a romance arc between Lady Lure and my
Lady
imp.
Lure and Jerry.
They run away together, and I have to find a new familiar.
This sounds playing in the background.
Jerry is trying to like snap her back to attention to the matter at hand.
Absolutely. All right. It is Marcoris's turn.
Okie dokie. Marcoris is also in a bad way, but he's glad that Chaboy Knock is there with him. Is he still grappled by this guy? Even after, I mean...
Yes, technically he would be.
Marcoris is going to... Oh, what would he do in this situation? Shoot. Oh, I know what he's going to do. First of all, how does Knock look?
Like shit.
Okay. He
I would say no. Knock. He just looks.
been hurt.
He looks uncomfortable. He's not so much as hurt. I mean, he's battle torn, but like it's more or less the uncomfortable state of his body is enough to drive him to a point of being crazy.
How's he looking in terms of like injury? Has he been injured?
Injury. He has only been hit by the fall, and then getting hit by the little lizard in the back. So other than that, not too much. He's doing good.
All right, and he's fine. I'm going to try and break out of this grapple.
Okay, go ahead and make, I believe it's an athletics or a acrobatics check.
Yeah, I'm going to
Either
do
one.
acrobatics. 18.
18, you are easily able to kind of break free of this grapple here.
Sweet. So he breaks free, and I don't think he really has any bonus actions in his pocket, so he's just going to sort of like stand at the ready and hope that Nock can kill this thing. He doesn't want to move away. He doesn't want to get hit.
Right. Okay.
So that's the end of Marcor's turn.
All right. It is the Dolores' turn, and all of a sudden, from the north, we hear another. Reminds me of Jurassic Park, but another step in the kind of the water that's kind of in the, like in this pit, just like from like the fist, almost kind of like erupts away from it, like ripples away from it, and this little creature dives back in and burrows itself into the ground and disappears. It is the Dolgaunt's turn. It's going to make, it's going to go, since Nock attacked it, it's going to do all its attacks on Nock here. That's a 23 on the first hit. For 8, reduced to 4 points of bludgeoning damage because you're raging.
See.
The second is a 18. You take 5 reduced to 2 points of bludgeoning damage. The tentacle attack is an 11.
11 to hit, 11 damage.
11 to hit.
No.
Okay. It misses.
See.
All right. That's all it can do on its turn. It does not seem phased by whatever is approaching. Wisp, it is your turn.
All right. So where exactly is Aiden?
So
Standing.
Aiden would be like
Left him up.
right up,
ledge.
like here, if you can see where my ping
Perfect.
is.
Let me just make sure that this is gonna work the way that I want it to. Okay, I need to be within 60 feet. So let me. Oh, absolutely. He's within my reach. Perfect. I'm going to. This is the first time anybody has ever heard Wisp actually like audibly yell. But she's going to yell to Aiden, and all she's gonna say is jump. And I don't know if he has a turn in the placement, but I'm going to hold the levitate spell for when he does jump so I can bring him down.
Okay. Yeah, let me bring him on here. Make him a little bit bigger.
Because I can't move him to us. I can just move him up and down, so I need him to jump so he's over the pit so I can bring him down.
Yeah.
So she's yelling for him to jump.
Okay. Yeah, let me roll him onto the initiative.
Because I'll hold the action if I have to. I just wasn't sure if he was in combat or how that would work, if it would be immediate or whatever, but I'll hold it until he jumps.
Yeah, he would need to roll into the initiative.
Totally fine.
Which he rolled a 13. Which technically would be
He'd be next.
Next or right after I would say right after Nock.
Okay.
So yeah. If you want to hold your action for that,
so I'll stay exactly where I am because I have a good view on everybody in the party at the moment. I'm going to just hold my action for him to jump, and then once he jumps, I will cast Levitate on him and drop him to the ground and dispel it immediately.
Okay.
I just want to get him on the ground with us.
Okay, perfect. Nock, it is your turn.
Indeed. Question for you. Rage lasts 10 rounds. I'm pretty sure we're like that would probably be 10 rounds. Or is it 10 rounds every single round that's my round?
Every round is your round. So it's like 5 or 6. You still got a bit.
Joe, what made for? That's what I made for. I'm going to beat the damn out of this dam. Come here, that doggone. I'm gonna
beat the dam out of the dam?
I'm going to smack him with the flat side of the axe because he's a bitch. 15!
15 misses.
I swing again! This time frenzied attack. I also announced that he's a bitch with the other side of the axe. Mother of God.
That misses as well.
Where are these 15? Sorry, bonus attack, I swear to God. Yeah, man.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage. A 24 certainly does hit.
Bow!
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
15 plus 2, 17 damage overall.
Yep, and you absolutely, again, cleave this one into nothing. At that point, Aiden would make his way down. and all of a sudden, you guys begin to hear. You guys are all on the opposite side, so you can't see other than Lady Lore. I guess Lady Lore, you were approached by Draxius. It would technically be your turn. What do you do?
My turn.
Yes.
She has an imp attached to her face. It's difficult to see bitty bitty at the moment. So she kind of eyes focus. What? And she'll look around a little bit and just kind of get a lay of the land. We need to rebuild. This is important. She will look down and kind of see the finishing blows of this battle, and almost kind of like in a way to like just like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever, help, but to kind of get back to what she's trying to do. Her one blue eye will begin to kind of twitch and glow, and she'll just kind of like look down and do this thing with her arm. It's just this casual, like, sure. And down on the ground, the ground will shift a little bit. Little mushrooms will sort of pop up, and the ground will rumble. And emerging out of the earth, she will summon a fae to fight.
Okay.
So this is a level 3 spell. This means that on the map now will be a mirthful fae. We will say mirthful fae.
Okay.
It
I don't know what that
is-
looks like.
It's just a creature, something fungally. You know, it doesn't
Okay.
really matter. Just whatever your imagination wants to throw out there.
Looks like Derek.
Let me see what I can.
It is a corporeal form. It's the face spirit stat block, if that helps.
Okay. I just need to find the
It just
right.
resembles a fake creature that's,
Right.
just something kind of fun.
I just imagine Derek as a mushroom creature, and like the ones that have like the little webbing that come off of it is like his hair, and it's just like really big and like beautiful.
Yeah, I think we're all
Mushroom
picturing that.
Derek. Yeah.
Yes, I
love
will
those.
ask this a little bit of a more like, since they have like a wider base, like I imagine me with like I don't know, with a disco vibe for some reason, like we got, like, different colors and
70s
whatnot.
vibe.
Because 70s mushroom vibe. Fuck yeah.
I'm here for that.
I'm into it, baby. Come on now, what we doing today? Shit.
So as you summon this fey creature, your attention gets directed towards where the loud stomping is coming from, and you begin to see this tall stone figure begin kind of leaning under the archway, and what you see makes you smile, Lady Lore, as you have a friend that looks very similar to this that you run past all the time, that you ran
Yay!
past a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
But it's much bigger, probably double in height, maybe 15, 20 feet tall. You see it has a cowl covering its head, and it's got these green glowing eyes and this purple sigil in its forehead. It's got a arm blade and a big shield, and it steps forward. And Marcoris, I think you probably see this as well, is you see this giant,
I see it through Jerry's eyes.
giant warforged step through.
Walking statue.
Yep, walking statue, and it says build. You must. You must. rebuild. And that is where we're going to take our break.
Oh, jeez.
I take out the Legos.
Holy shiitake mushrooms, y'all.
Shiitake mushroom.
Holy Derek mushrooms.
Yeah. Hey,
Holy
it's like the Foxy Cleopatra fucking mushroom.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine.
Oh boy. Thank you everybody so much for hanging out with us tonight. We will be back in about 7 to 10 minutes to see what the hell is going on. Grab a drink, grab a snack, use the restroom, and we will see you in 7 to 10 minutes. See you soon. And welcome back, everybody. All right, so you've all just been acquainted with a 15-foot tall Warforged, a creature that Knock and Wisp you are relatively unfamiliar with, other than seeing an inanimate one, dead one, question mark? Maybe you're not sure. I was going to say, Danae, you know what this is. Lady Lure knows what this is, as well as Marcoris. Marcoris is very, very, very familiar with these. And it looks at you again after saying rebuild. It says, well, what are you doing here?
Is it talking to Lady Lure?
It's talking to seemingly whoever is in the space. Yeah.
Okay. I have one question, I think, before I know what Lure will do. Did she recognize Bitty Bitty's voice when it shifted from the lighter voice into that deeper voice?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I actually had another question, and I apologize.
Okay.
When you cast when Summon Fae is cast and you pick what kind of Fae you're summoning, there's like a thing that happens when they're summoned. And when I picked Mirthful, I can choose a creature within 10 feet to make a wisdom saving throw against my spell DC and charm it.
Okay.
I'm wondering if I can charm Knock.
Is Knock within 10 feet
of the creature? I don't know. I think it's the creature, and I summoned it within that one. I think.
Yeah, if you can summon it within that 10 feet, I would say that's totally viable.
Okay. So Knock, you would need to make a DC save of 15.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh. Question is, though, I'm reading this right. I'm in a mindless rage that I have. I can't be charmed.
Oh.
How your rage lasts until you do not take damage or take damage to something.
So this be after the fact, or I'm.
I would say
I'm
so.
curious.
Yeah, I would honestly say so, because you had your turn and there were like 2 turns prior, which is each second. Well,
I wasn't sure.
It would technically last until his. It would technically last until it became his turn again.
Yeah, I'll let you guys determine that.
Okay.
I mean,
So the charm spell only kind of affects how the person feels about the person casting it. It's not like a control spell.
Right.
So
I mean, I'm okay with any type of possibility, to be honest with you. So I mean, like I'm leaning towards whatever intent to which you have, albeit that being a good or bad thing.
Yeah, I think if you're still in rage and you can't be charmed, then you're not charmed, because I think that would work.
I like the story beat. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I cleave this other last doggomoot, and after that, like Knock takes about like 3 or 4 seconds to breathe out his frustration and whatnot, and I'll allow that to happen.
Yeah. You also, since you did a frenzied rage, you are exhausted, so maybe that is another key. Like you do take a level of exhaustion from a frenzied rage. So
and maybe in that exhaustion, you're like, you know what? You look up at the fist, like that lure is not that bad.
I'm gonna elbow drop this girl so hard from the top rope.
No, you like me. You like me. Basically, it means you can't do anything negative towards me.
Heard.
Basically, we're buddies now. And when the spell fades, which is only in like a minute, you're gonna know that she charmed you.
Okay.
or at least that the Fae did. I'll look into that for clarification. I think it's me though. No, it's me. So you'll know that she did it through the Fae. Yeah.
Nice. As of right now, yeah, I'm gonna look up and be like,
Damn, maybe that was some good tea. She makes good tea.
Okay, so that was just a point of like what happened right before. So this creature is talking to the group. I think Laura's just gonna watch the group from her perch, and looking back, thinking that she's done what she needs to do with casting the spell to help people out. She's right back into Bitty Bitty and kind of trying to look around Jerry. There you go.
Bitty Bitty has turned its attention towards this creature.
Then she'll turn her attention to the creature. You're muted.
Justin, yeah.
Jerry has as well. He turns around midair and sort of look at this thing. And Marcora springs into action, which is what he does in terms of diplomacy, and just sort of strides forward. And he's like, the dark pools of his eyes are sort of like receding a little bit. So they start to look normal again, and he's like wiping blood from his lip, right? You know, he's like really messed up. But he walks forward. He's like, "Howdy, Marcora's Dag, Order of the Emerald Claw. We're here to harvest lure weed and heal." And he like looks up at his wings. And he's like, "Here to get ingredients to make tea. Who are you?"
It turns and looks at you. You've never seen a Warforged this large before.
No.
This is very, very large compared to the Warforged you've seen back home.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns to you and it says, "Grr, grr, grr, grr." You can kind of tell that there's like something not right with it in its speech patterns. And it says, "Greetings, Marcora's Dag of the Order of the Emerald Claw. I am the creation of House Cannith, the protector of Pieterra."
Pieterra. And he like looks around. I mean, I do want to add, like, while he's doing this, he takes his spellcasting rod out, and he's fiddling with it. His Rod of the Pact Keeper, and he's using an action to restore one of his spell slots.
Okay.
Okay, all right, Mr. I'm sorry, but I didn't get a name. Do you have a name?
This one does not have a name.
Okay, I'm gonna call you Max Headroom. If that's all right.
Headroom.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry about it. We're just here to collect some plants, and we'll be on our way. Are you? And he sort of like looks back and forth between the fist and this Warforged. He says, "Are you working for the whoever this fist belongs to?"
This is my mistress, or part of her.
I see. And
she was used in my creation.
Oh, I see. And that's why you're such a big boy, aren't you? You big beefy boy. Listen, Max, what's your mistress's name? I always like to get on a semi-formal basis with agents of power.
Her name is Pieterra. Yes, the primordial.
Sure. Yeah, of course. Right. Well, thank you so much. I don't think we're gonna take any. Like, he turns around, and so the Warforged can't see him, but he turns around. He's looking at Wisp and at Knock. And like he does a thing where he's like smiling and nodding to this guy. He turns around to the others and he's like,
Wisp immediately takes out the notebook that she found with the head on it that said because it says Cannith on the front. And I'm going to start to try and flip through it to see if I can find just something that might stick out to me in this moment between the words Pieterra, Cannith, and now that she knows that this is called a Warforged, based on learning it from the other two, she's going to try to find anything with the words Warforged, Primordial, or Pieterra.
Okay. You do see like sketches of some sort of strange machine. And it says Cannith Creation Forge, and then there is something that shows like the fist, and it says, you know, essentially what you can discern is that this Warforged was created from this Creation Forge, and it was used to this fist, and the power of the Warpstone or the Primordial was used in its creation. And it says, and it shows like it's like replication process, and there's like tons of just notes and just like
kind of like a blueprint book.
Blueprints, formulas, like weird math stuff that
instruction manuals.
She has no idea.
Wisp probably, doesn't know exactly.
It's super foreign to her. Like the pictures, she's mostly looking at that point. She's looking at the pictures to see if she can kind of understand if there is an on or off switch to this thing. I guess she's kind of trying to look at the schematics to see like if.
Where's the big glowing red button?
Yeah, she has no idea what she's really looking at, but she's just trying to see if she can dissect any part of it. So that's kind of what she's gonna kind of duck below where she is behind that fist and just take a second to flip through while everybody else is reacting.
Okay.
So Marcor turns around and makes like eyes at Wisp and at Knock, and it's like, well, we thank you so much for your time. We're just going to pick a few more of these plants, and then we have to get back and make some tea, don't we?
About that time, I think Lure wants to slide down off the fist, kind of like it's a little slide for her, you know, like go in between the grooves. Right. And
of course,
kind of zip off of it, and she's just drawn to this Max. Listening to what Max is saying and loving every second of it. And when she kind of, like, as Marcor turns and starts to kind of like make eyes with the group, like, I think we're going now, Laura is not really looking at him, but like just watching this Warforged, just, you know, so tall compared to her. And she'll just kind of like, just sort of like pat Marcor, like, yeah, this is amazing. And as she does it, she'll cast Cure Wounds. If that's okay with you.
That's fine with me. I consent to Cure Wounds.
Consenting to healing.
That's 15 points of healing.
Thank you. That quadruples my health.
Knock shouts out towards the direction of both of them.
Wait a minute. Ask it if it knows how to make statues to move just like it does. I want one of those.
No, not now. Not.
Yeah.
No, this thing is big and strong and unpredictable.
And beautiful. And
well, everything's beautiful in its own way, hun. But we've got to get these weeds out of here so we can drink some, because I've got permanent wings, and that's not normal.
Yeah, and I could do without these.
You see his tentacles are slapping off all his muscles.
Slap, 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 slap.
She'll like turn and look at the group. Her new friend Knock, smile really brightly.
Which at this point you definitely have realized that she cast that spell on you.
Oh, her. So I smile at her.
Yeah, I love you.
And right about then, the Fae gets a little closer. Does anyone else want a little healing while I'm in the mood?
I mean, if nobody else does, I could take another shot. I mean, I'm not great.
Knock steps forward.
I would love some.
She's gonna stick 2 fingers up his nose and heal him.
At this
I
point,
feel like you
the
just get the tips of your fingers too, because you're so much shorter than him, so they're like barely in there.
That's exactly what I meant. She's just like.
That's 13
knock.
points of healing.
As your voice kind of raises, you hear Max say, Goliath, I detect high stress patterns in your voice. Please refrain from attacking the little one.
Yeah, everybody stay
She
calm.
is chosen.
Knock, like as his nostrils are moving up and like around from her fingers, he like looks up at the robot.
Oh, I'll be nice.
He threw me down this hole, Max.
He helped her down the hole.
We
But they're
floated
good
down
friends.
together like a dandelion.
Like a dandelion. Where is the... And she'll try to describe the machine that she saw in her vision. Where is the... Where do we rebuild? I rebuild. Where do we rebuild? And as she kind of starts to figure out whether she has a we or an I, her fae comes and stands right beside her.
Okay. It kind of like there's like these weird like jerking motions that makes it almost like it's trying to compute certain things, and it says, I have never seen the Genesis Forge, but I do know its location.
Wonderful.
It is paramount to our success.
Wisp is gonna stand up and move around the fist to kind of like be in front of this with everybody now, and she's going to she's gonna say to it, "The Cannith Forge, where you were created, and the Genesis Forge, are they different or are they same?"
They are same in concept, but varyingly different in size and purpose.
And the
Are they where you're
Genesis
from?
Forge.
Marcoris, I need you to roll with advantage a history check for me.
Yeah, I will. I will do that. With advantage, this is 16.
You've heard of the Genesis Forge, Genesis Forge before. To I guess to kind of remind you or let you know, Eberron lore, House Cannith is one of the dragon marked houses, which essentially have claim over part of industry. House Cannith are like the inventors, and they created the Warforged for essentially military use. They are created soldiers used by you in their method of creation is through creation forges, and there were always rumors that there was a Genesis Forge that the leaders or the heads of this house had created that was apparently somewhere in Syria, which is where the like the king, like the capital of Corvair was. It was seemingly destroyed or vanished when Vedranis appeared, creating the Mournland, because it was in that area.
Do I know anything about the significance of the Genesis Forge? Like, what makes it special, as opposed to other forges where forges are made?
You don't, I would say, with a 16.
Okay. What? We're gonna find the Genesis Forge, huh? And fire that thing up. What kind of? What are we making?
She was made.
You mean? Is he talking about
The fist?
or the fist?
Yeah, Pieterra.
Right there.
Laura's just kind of
Oh.
smiling, watching.
Okay, so it's like a god oven.
I am unfamiliar with your reference. Please rephrase.
Okay. It's a forge that you craft a elder being in. Yeah.
That she is.
And you want to start it up.
Restart.
We must rebuild her.
Why?
Because it is necessary.
For what?
That is classified.
Oh, okay. Confidential information. Okay.
And you are here to protect her? Just this piece or all of her?
She bids me to protect. She is part of me, and I her. We must rebuild.
Lure positions herself where she's standing beside the this warforged, and her fae on the other side, so she's kind of flanked by these two tall creatures, and she's looking at the lure weed and the party. She looks up to Max and she says, "There is someone coming for her pieces."
Who is this? And what is their intention?
I'm not sure, but he's very dangerous. His name's Strahd. I call him Iki. I know where more of her is, and I will do all I can. She knows, but he wants her too. And she holds onto her necklace.
At this point, Wisp has been standing behind Lore. And if the other two in the party look at Wisp, there's a look of frustration, confusion, and anger directed towards Lore. But she's staying quiet. She's got the book in her hand. And she's looking between Lore and the Warforged, and then kind of looks back down at the fist. And she got a vision as well. Wisp had a vision as well. And she, in the vision, it said there was a flash of green light, screams of fear, confusion, almost a transformer-esque sound as it broke through of its tethers, lifting its fist and clenching it. And I heard screaming, another flash of light, and I came to. So I'm going to kind of like take a moment and remember that and look back up at the Warforged. What happened to her?
She was destroyed by her makers almost immediately upon her creation.
But why? What happened to make them destroy her?
They feared her power.
Then why did they create her with such power?
Why do mortal beings such as yourself do anything?
She nods to herself and looks down at the book again.
DM Knock, as he's hearing everything kind of go back and forth, and looks at Wisp and acknowledging the fact of her face, her frustration, the flowing of pages going to and fro. I want to observe the fist. Is there like, I understand it has glowing green veins, yes?
Yeah.
Is there anything glowing from the inside of the fist, like it's holding on to something?
You'd have to get closer to it and make an investigation check.
I'm gonna do exactly that.
Okay.
Maybe towards the front of the fist, not so much the
Mhm.
back of the fist, but like so I can see like
As you take a step closer, Max takes a step closer. What
So
is your intention?
So Knock, as he walks over to it, he makes he makes his way around, and he's looking at it, and as he steps, he feels like the rumble behind him, and it's a very foreign thing for him. So he turns and he looks up and he says,
like you said, us mortals, we do things for conclusions because we're curious. So, maybe you can answer my curiosity. Is there anything inside that hand?
Why does it matter to you?
Why would it matter for the hand to be clasped instead of open? Importance, yes.
I mean, he raises both his hands. He goes,
No harm, no foul. Listen, my name is Nock. I hail from the Thunakalathi clan of the Garcaean Mountains. All this you see upon my person was what I wrought once I stepped foot in this godforsaken city. Just like you in your rebuild. I care for my answers as well.
Takes a look at you. Only those worthy may approach. Only those chosen of her.
Laura kind of smirks and walks past him and puts a little cheek up against the fist and winks at him.
How do we know who's chosen?
If you have to ask,
Well, it's one of those.
then you are not.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna take my friends and take my lore weed, and we'll go home, won't we, everybody?
Knock looks at the hand, looks back at Macoris, looks back at the hand. Knock humbly nods and walks past the hand back towards him and looks at looks at Lady Lore. It's just like smile. Slowly says to like a face of disgust. He's just like
Worthy.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
When you study a language, do you study the culture around the language? Because Wisp knows primordial.
Mm-hmm.
So would she know any culture, not references, but would she know any culture of the primordial? Like, would she know anything about the type of things they hold important or things that are very inherent to their being
Mm-hmm.
through the use of learning that language?
Yeah, so you would know that most primordials are essentially godlike beings of creation. So there's not really there's not a whole lot to know about them other than that. So it's almost like learning Latin, I would say. It's kind of like it's like kind of Latin. It's a dead language in a way where there's like the history behind it is like other languages have spawned from it and things like that. But
is there any primordial in the book?
No, there is distinctly not. It's all in common. Though I don't know if it would be like that different, being from essentially a different world.
It's probably like almost like a, if you could write in a different accent, it's probably just like the British way of spelling words. It's probably kind of like a different, somewhat spelling. So I could probably make out most of it. But
exactly,
I want to turn to Max Headroom and speak in primordial. And I would like to say, what will happen if we complete the rebuild? And see if he understands what I'm saying in primordial.
She will be most pleased, and you will be rewarded, and will allow her to lay claim
In primordial. Lay claim to what?
Everything.
I'll nod at him. And I'll turn in very low, even more of a low tone than she normally speaks, whisper to the group. They want us to rebuild her so that she can take over everything again. He said we would be rewarded.
But why rebuild something that their creators wanted to destroy?
That's the question.
That's what we're trying to find out.
Y'all, and this is just, is Lure here, or is it just?
No, I think Laura's standing by the fists, and if it's okay, she has started distractingly pulling Laura weed. She wants to do some of that, if that's okay.
Marcos leans into Knock and Wisp and says, we're at a bit of a catch-22 situation here. We need Lure to make this tea for us. And I'm not sure we want to help her bring what's her butt back from God Graveyard or something like that. Not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But all I know is I want to be able to like put these wings away, and I'm sure Nog wants to feel better too.
I agree with the winged one.
We would need to find out. We would need to find out whether they destroyed her for fear of good or for fear of evil, depending on why they built her in the first place.
Yeah, built is a strange word. I'm not sure that applies here. More like manifested.
Yeah.
So is this the same thing as Weaver? Weaver was whole.
I get the feeling that this lady, and he's like nods at the fist. He says, I feel that this lady's the one who's got little bits and bobs all scattered all over the city. And this one makes the Weaver look like an actual size spider.
So they're two?
Oh,
Two different?
No,
Yes.
honey. There's like much more. These primordials, I don't know how many there are, but
Nobody knows.
this one seems to be at the center of the mystery behind the city.
And I'm willing to bet that the eye that we found was one of hers.
Oh, yeah. What do we do?
Well, we don't have answers for the hand or the eyeball or who it all belongs to.
Hmm?
But we do have the person who can go ahead and make this work.
Yeah.
Get cured. Live a little longer in this godforsaken place.
Sure.
Then we'll figure it out.
I think that's our only choice.
Unless there's something you can think about, Wisp, inside of that. Wait!
Knock reaches down to his orb and shakes his orb.
Stupid! Whisper, do not shout! What is that?
And he like grabs it and picks him up and like so his eyeballs can go ahead and reach the gaze of the Warforged. And then he pulls him back down to the middle of the group. So if I imagine all of us are hovering over this little ball now.
We're all pondering the orb.
Yes. Get ready to listen to.
You're facing me the wrong way. You've got to turn me the other direction. Oh, thank you.
Spin him like a Harlem Globetrotter.
Well, if you ask me, that looks like some sort of construct in a way. I'm not sure. I haven't quite seen something like that before.
Okay, it's this thing's on hi, Marcos. Hi.
Greetings.
This guy's not who we're curious about. This is some Warforged aberration that's enormous. What do you know about this Pieterra?
It's kind of a weird name, to be perfectly honest, but I ain't really heard of that one before. Might have been before my time or after.
Do you know anything about the creation of primordials in forges?
Well, yes and no. They come from general, the planes of existence and everything. The astral seas are usually where they reside. They're not usually created by. Created is a kind of a.
Well, used in creation for things.
Well, yes. They're like gods in a way. So you don't just create a god, right? Everybody knows that.
Right, they just are.
What if she found her way from the astral sea here? They found her, brought her to the forge, and tried to harness whatever powers she had and it gone wrong.
That's how she got all busted up.
I saw something before the battle, and it was her release. And there was screaming and terror. And I heard someone say, "We are making progress. Continue, she is almost awake." What if she found herself here and somebody found her, like I said, brought her to the forge and they tried to wake her? They were successful and so fearful, and then destroyed her.
It's possible. It's possible that whatever they tried to do, they failed. That's why she went flying every place. Question is it a good thing to wake her up or a bad thing?
She turns to Max again. You were created using pieces of her, correct?
This is correct.
She turns back around. What if they tried to harvest her? To run the Warforged?
Like use her for parts?
Yes. She has immense power. What if they wanted to harvest her to make more of those? And then turn her on to control them?
I get the feeling that this primordial Pieterra is so powerful that, she got a AA battery in this guy, but she could be used for much bigger things.
Well,
yes,
if
AA batteries.
If there's still so much of her left after creating one, imagine how many they could create and still have more of her left. And what if she commanded them because they were part of her?
Possibilities are endless.
We take all your little minions, all your little biddies, bring all yourself together. If there's multiple of those scattered around Vedranis, those would be big enough to pick up something like that.
In the vision, did it only focus on Pieterra or in the screaming, or did I hear or see any other Warforged?
You did not see any other Warforged.
Any Warforged? Okay.
It was just her.
Okay. Does the sigil on his forehead that's purple?
Yeah.
What does the sigil look like?
Like a glyph, or is it like a symbol?
It
is
looks
it a
like,
symbol, or is it the bowl, or
anybody can make an Arcana check.
I will make that Arcana check.
As will I.
You can get yours at advantage, Doc.
Okay, that's 17 for me, but Wisp beat me. Beat me good.
Which I think makes a little bit more sense since I've been studying primordials.
Mm-hmm. It looks like an actual sigil. It's almost it looks like a trademark.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I'm
going to sketch down with my paper and ink. I'm going to sketch down the sigil.
Mm-hmm. I would say Marcoris would also know about this pretty well with a 17. House Cannith, like every single Warforged has a slightly different sigil.
Yeah.
When they're created, it's just something that happens when they're created. They come out with that.
Yeah.
Are they all different, or are they all the same based on where they're created?
They're all slightly different.
So it's kind of like a mark of individuality. Okay. And does he look like he's glowing green? Do we see a glow green on him of like where the piece of her could be inside of him?
His eyes are
green. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyhow, yeah, she's powering this boy for sure. And get the feeling he was made either in Eberron or by someone from Eberron. In that forge.
I was created in the tunnel just behind me.
Oh, fun.
How long ago?
Unknown.
Yeah, time's a funny thing, huh? Flat circle and all that.
Knock bends down to only the party to hear him.
Can we see it?
See it?
Tunnel.
You say it says it's right behind him. I don't see why not.
I mean,
What if there's a room in there? What if there's somebody in there with him
Ask
or
him.
something? Are
And
you
then
alone
if there
down
is
here?
Marie,
No. I am not alone, as I am surrounded by you.
yay.
In your
Anyone
tunnel?
else?
I'm here too.
Yeah, Laura,
Lord.
how, Laura?
She comes back. She's got this. She's got a she's got loreweed, like fresh loreweed wrapped around her head. So like her hair is wet, and she's sort of fashioned like where the lure tip kind of comes out. It sort of like crests over, like one of those like one of the quail that have like the weird little thing.
Yep.
So she's got like a little quail thing going on. She's got this massive bundle of loreweed, and she's kind of piling it up, and she's I'm here too. Look.
Yep. Hey, it's tea time.
The house Kenneth employees are slaughtered about beneath you.
Is it only her fist that's here? Or is there more buried beneath?
I believe it is just what you see.
So he's looking around at like the remains on the ground, bone fragments, whatever. He's like, so these are the folks that made you, huh?
That is correct.
What happened?
They were promptly annihilated by myself.
Oh, why? Why? Just bad people?
I was commanded to.
By whom? He looks at the fist, kind of knowing the answer.
Pieterra.
Yeah.
She is most unhappy with our creators. If you see any House Kenneth employees, please bring them down here for their swift annihilation.
Absolutely, I will.
Thank you.
Understood as an employee.
Nope, I don't think so.
Any who would do harm to Pieterra will meet their swift annihilation.
We absolutely have to do that, don't we, everyone?
That's right.
Do you know that you're not in Eberron anymore?
I am unfamiliar. I do not know what Eberron is.
Yeah, I get the feeling he was made here by people from Eberron.
Do you know that you're in Vedranis?
I have heard that name.
Okay, and yeah, who? Of course, keeps trying to leave. He's like,
knocked by the bell.
You're just like backing up, and
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for Wisp to want to leave right now. It's really hard for Wisp to want to leave right now.
Knock's brain is like, I'm all about leaving. Like I've built my words, but like there's a room that we haven't seen yet, and they're building statues in there that can move, and I want one of those.
Is there a easier way out than the hole? By the way,
escalator. Oh, y'all don't have escalators.
If you can consider death, that is can be swift.
Max, is that a joke?
that was very deep.
I yes.
Good one.
Would you let us see what's in the tunnel?
Would you mind showing it to us, or would that result in our demise?
That would depend on your purpose.
Oh, just to honor Pieterra and to help you reassemble her, and
Maybe understand more about you and your
yeah, just to
creation.
get to know you as our new friend.
Can I roll an insight check on Marcoris for that?
Oh, sure. Can I roll deception? to
Yeah.
combat that?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Mine's a 14.
Mine's a 12. Of course, is laying it on thick.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Kissing big metal ass.
Big chunky middle
And that
boy.
big Warforged booty.
Wisp is gonna start walking towards it. Starts walking towards Max.
Okay. He stares at you. You want to learn
Yes.
about
And-
the
and in-
creation forge.
Yeah, in Primordial, she's gonna speak to him and just say, "I've been interested in things of your nature in Pieterra's for quite some time."
Are you lying or
Would you-
telling the truth?
She's telling the truth. That's
Okay.
why it's one of her languages. She's been fascinated with things in the astral sea for quite some time.
Make a persuasion check.
Cool. Absolutely.
How much of what she says do I understand?
All of it.
I love that.
Okay.
Every bit.
It's an 18.
Please move forward with caution and remember, no funny business.
And I'll look back at the group and like give them a nod to join if they would like to. But she's gonna start walking into the tunnel.
I'll wait out here, and I'm gonna send Jerry in.
Cool. What's Aiden doing right now?
He's trying to follow you. I guess he'll be allowed to because I think Max thinks he's just a
Dog.
hellhound. But he does stop.
What does he do, Cole?
He stops Jerry. What is your purpose?
I am here as a servant of Lord Marcoris Deg of the Emerald Claw. I wish to gain information about your God Forge.
Have him make a perception check.
Gladly.
Jerry.
Jerry with a perception check. 7. Keep in mind, Jerry has 1 hit point, so like one of his wings are broken. He's like,
Oh.
You are a creature of the 9 hells, are you not?
Yes, this is accurate. I was once a mighty...
and he like launches into his like
Right.
long diatribe.
You are a creature, and you appear unstable. You are
I am.
not permitted to venture forth.
He growls like a very demonic Marge Simpson, and then like turns around and flutters back towards Marcoris.
Okay.
Homie.
That's all right. I'm sure Wisp and Nog have it. And I think if they're all going inside, Marcoris is going to settle down for a short rest.
Okay.
Question.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This might be something we haven't figured out yet or that I don't know, but my eyes. You said people can see through my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know how that works because I have them?
I think all that you know is that you get the feeling that people are like, it's almost like someone's watching you,
Okay.
or like the feeling that you're being followed, like the hairs
Okay.
on your neck. That gets
Yeah,
kind of
never
that
mind then.
feeling. You're not entirely.
Okay. I'll just leave it alone. But I will unwrap my shoulders and everything so that they're visible now, just in case.
Okay.
As Laura's trying to figure out what she wants to do, she's turned and she's trying to see if Bitty Bitty is still up on the fist.
It waves at you with a little paw.
She waves back. And then she's like, "You may go." Or... And she'll turn and she'll start walking down the hallway.
Max doesn't even ask what your purpose is. He just lets you go.
Yeah, I think as she passes Max, she just kind of like does a little like lean in, like this is so great, like a little pat, and then she'll go.
As Lore walks in behind without a word from Max, Wisp under her breath and kind of back towards her is going to say in Primordial, "So apparently you haven't told us everything, huh?"
Why would I? We just met.
She just kind of like smirks and shakes her head and keeps walking.
Knock, were you going to?
Find the local top rope. No, I am going to follow behind the big statue. Knock is just kind of looking at the statue, looking at the hand, looking at the statue again, and if he notices Macoris, like, sit down or go ahead and stay outside and get a short rest, Knock's gonna like run up to him real quick, like crouch down next to him and be like,
See if you can see anything inside their hand.
and like,
Yeah, I will.
run
Absolutely. Jerry,
back
go check the
and
hand.
then go right back into like his slow strut that he was doing right next to the.
And Marcoris like turns to Jerry, like, Jerry, go check out the hand. And then as soon as like Knock is far enough away that he doesn't see, like Jerry stops going up there.
Okay. Max does stop you, Knock, and asks you the same question.
What?
What is your purpose?
To seek glory, so that I may return and regain my honor from my clan.
You will not find glory in there.
Don't know until you try. Or maybe it's a stepping stone to glory.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
But stepping stones, DM. Ripples, okay. You said that was a what check again?
Persuasion.
Persuasion. What the hell? Oh, persuasion. I get persuasion from the belt of dwarven kind? It gives me an advantage? On what?
I think it's
Probably just
persuasion with
dwarves.
dwarves.
No.
Okay, is this giant warforged a dwarf?
I rolled on a
No.
natural one.
He looks at you, says, "You, Knock, of the Thunakalathi clan of the Garcaean Mountains, are not permitted to enter."
Marcoris is like looking down at his notes, like he's filling out paperwork in his clipboard. He doesn't even look up. He goes, "Yeah, Knock."
Knox stops as he's looking at the warforged. He goes,
Wait, what do you mean not permitted? That door has a room. What? I'm gonna go sit down.
I am not permitting you.
Understood. We got it.
Knox like brushing his hand off.
All right.
Have fun. Take pictures.
Slapping around on my back. I'm gonna go ahead and sit down next to my chorus, but look over toward like double take and be like,
So did you check the fish? Did you?
Oh, Jerry's just about to, right, Jerry? Sends him up again, begrudgingly. Just so while this is happening, this next scene or whatever, long rest, Marcoris is taking out his clipboard and he's writing all of this stuff down to send back to home office. Like,
Okay.
like Pieterra, the Genesis Forge. Let's see if anybody knows anything about it.
Okay.
I also, before I go in, I hand Marcoris the journal to keep and to peruse.
You. He's going to look over
Now
that
that I
and
look
include
at
that while he rests.
Okay. Perfect. So, Wisp and Lady Lure, you are brought into this chamber as you follow through this tunnel. You are then, and you enter what appears to be, is best described as alien. As the chamber rounds itself out, and it looks like both these tunnels go to the same place. They're just two adjacent tunnels. And what you see is where replaced with the jagged kind of natural cave-like structure, this room has been smoothed out. There are weird eldritch markings lining the walls. And in the center is almost like a large pedestal, and there's some form of like weird green energy glowing from it. What you see is you walk up and you see this giant cylindrical object. It's not fully let me give you guys a picture so you know what I'm trying to show you, so I can better describe it. So it looks like that, and as you guys step up, this cylindrical thing is maybe 30 feet tall, and it's hovering there. There's weird etchings in it, this weird green light that's glowing from it, and it just kind of sits there hovering. And from behind you, Max says, this is where I was created. This is my home.
Looking
And
at
you can
the
hear the
symbols,
buzz. Yeah, you can hear
looking at the
buzz in this
symbols,
instant.
does anything make sense? Like the markings, the symbols. Have I seen anything like that before?
Make an
Probably
Arcana
not.
check.
Okay. We'll see. 17.
17. You haven't seen sigils like this before, though you can obviously assume that they are magical in nature.
Can I discern what school of magic?
Oh shit!
If there is one, or does it look like it might just be like a conglomeration of a bunch of it?
It's probably a conglomeration.
Okay.
Probably like transmutation, enchantment, summoning, and invocation probably would be something like that.
Transmutation, enchantment, summoning, and invocation.
Yeah. So kind of what you're getting is that this thing is quite literally what it's, in its title is a creation forge. And these sigils are probably used
to help bind and figure them out, basically. Okay, cool. Is there any paperwork, any books, any desk of sorts?
There's no desk, but you see it looks like a person that has been cleaved in half.
Gone. Oh god.
And is like decrepit, and there is like a bundle of like papers like just out of their grasp, like kind of along this like pathway.
May I? And she points to the papers, talking to Max.
If you must.
And I'll go over there and start inspecting those while I kind of like keep an eye, like a kind of side eye glance on what Lady Lore's doing.
Lore is looking around. Is this a cylindrical floating object with all these carved markings in it? Is it floating, like free floating?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Does it appear to be whole, or is it missing pieces?
It does look to be missing a couple pieces, and there's just this energy to it that appears unstable. Okay. I guess.
She'll turn to Max and she'll say, do you want me to give this back now? And she'll touch her necklace.
he looks at you, or it looks at you, and says, it like stops for a second as it's about to speak, and it turns, like almost as it's turning its ear in like the opposite direction,
Mm-hmm.
and then turns back to you, says, "No, I believe you will need it in the days to come."
I think so too.
She
Okay,
wants you to keep a piece of her with you at all times.
thank you. How do I get out?
I can help you out of the pit. This one, and he like turns to the one that's cleaved in half, left some materials that you might find useful to get out. And he literally like picks up the body and kind of like pushes it away.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like rope and hooks and the grappling hook essentially.
Okay. She looks at it and she kind of frowns a little bit. I can use that, I guess. I was thinking something more exciting, but that is helpful. Thank you, Max.
You are welcome.
What do the papers say, if anything?
So you see journal entries of dates that you don't recognize, that don't make sense to you. And it says, Starin has made contact with the prince of this place. Diplomacy is ongoing. And it says like prince is
Starin?
Starrin.
Arrin. Okay.
It says the prince seems very interested in what we are trying to do. And then like whatever pages are there have been like ripped and torn and lost.
Does it look like the papers have been left to their devices for a long time? Like, are they ripped and tattered, like almost like fumbling apart?
Yeah.
Or are they more... Oh, okay, so it looks like they've been here for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. I will neatly put them like within my other scrolls, so I don't like have to fold them up or crumple. So I'll like put them in a book and then put that in my backpack for to show Mark Horace later.
Okay.
She is watching Wisp and just kind of looking around the room. And I think, does it look like Max was carved out of this cylindrical piece, like that he came from the chunk?
No, it does
Okay,
not look like
okay.
that. No.
Okay, we're just kind of
In
curious. Is
the
the
chunks-
chunk part of is the chunk the same material? Like
It is not the same
Oh, okay,
material.
okay,
No.
okay.
Wait, what chunk are you referring to?
the cylindrical floaty thing in the middle. Sorry, I should have been more
And
specific.
that's not the same material as the primordial.
Nope.
So it's not warpstone.
No.
That's why couldn't I think
Oh,
of
okay.
warpstone? Okay.
Okay.
I for a split second thought it was warpstone, and then I realized I probably needed to clarify. So is it glowing or anything? And it's floating. It's
It's
got that arcing energy, right?
Yeah, there's like
Okay.
a green glow emanating from below it.
Okay.
Like on this pedestal, there's a pedestal and then the floating piece. Like at the pedestal, there's like almost glowing upwards as if
Okay.
something's below it.
So she's just gonna say, "So what is it? What is that?"
This is a Canith creation forge.
Is this the forge?
Yes.
How are we gonna fit her in here?
No, you are mistaken. There is the Genesis forge.
Oh yes, I remember that.
It is much larger and able to work for her size.
And where is it? And she'll kind of look over at Wisp.
Wisp will shrug. And as she does that, she'll get up from kind of where she had been kneeling and taking the papers. She'll stand up and she'll move over to the cylinder. If I move my hand close to it, is it warm? Do
There
I
is
get
like a
warmth or a
warmth to it. Oh
cold?
yeah, absolutely. There's actually like absolutely some warmth to it and whatnot. And in response to your question, Max says, "That is information that I do not know.
Hmm.
Only those of House Cannith will know, or their compatriots and allies."
Is this harmful to touch?
Unless it is active, in which this case it is not, you should be fine.
I'm going to touch it and see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, you put your hand
Put
on
my whole
on it,
ass hand on it.
like, and you look up to it. This thing is huge. Like if you look in
Yeah,
that picture, you can
it's
see the size of the
huge.
person. Like you have to like even like you can't reach the cylinder. It's that far away.
Oh, I wasn't sure how tall.
You have to
the
like
pedestal was.
climb.
Okay,
You
cool.
have to climb. The pedestal's like maybe 10 feet.
Okay,
high.
I'll kind of like
Yeah.
quickly parkour it just so I can like I'll put my hand like under it and kind of like touch the bottom.
Yeah, it's just it opens into nothing. There's actually it looks hollow.
Oh, it's hollow.
And you feel like a warmth and that light kind of shines down from it. Yeah,
Interesting.
but
Okay, I'll climb
nothing
back down.
actually happens.
Okay, I'll climb back down and I'll move back towards Lore, and kind of give her like this like confused but very curious look of like I have so very many questions, but I don't know what to ask.
I'm curious. Do you want to come for tea? She says to Max.
I should not leave her here unattended. If there was a way we could remove her from this place, then I would comply.
How am I going to move her other pieces? They're so heavy.
Presumably with something stronger than yourself, able to bear its weight. This is how physics work.
What about your friend in my gardens? My statue.
I believe you will have to elaborate.
Can I bring him here and take one of you with me?
I still do not understand.
I have one of you in my woods. He's so quiet. He's been still for a long time. Can I wake him up?
Brother,
Yes.
if you were to bring him here, we might be able to bring him back.
Thank you. I have ideas, Wisp. Should we go?
She, just like my face, is very contorted in so many emotions right now. She will nod, and she just kind of like looks around at the room again, seeing if there's anything she might have missed. She tries to intently look at the walls, the cylinder, the floor, and just see if there's anything before they leave that she might have glanced over too quickly before.
Yeah, as you kind of look around, it doesn't look like there's anything else that would,
Okay.
yeah, that you would be missing.
She'll nod. She'll nod to Lore.
Laura will pick up the hook and the grappling hook and just the supplies that Max pointed out and start walking back to the room.
And after I come out, I'll immediately take out the papers and hand them to Marcoris.
Chris nods. Takes him without saying anything.
She points to the date. I don't understand. When is this?
When? I mean, is when a question anymore?
You look at it, Marcos, and you do actually recognize the date.
Okay.
It's strange because the date is
My birthday.
it is actually no. It's I'm trying to think of like the best way to like. It's in the future. It's an Eberron date,
It has not occurred
that
yet.
has not occurred that you're aware of.
Is this like a prophecy or something? Oh, what's that, Knock? I can't hear you because your mic is muted. What, Knock? What?
I'm just imagining like the Squidward meme where I'm just like, future, future.
What is this? What?
These were right outside of the clutches of a creator.
Okay, so either this is something that's gonna happen, or something that has happened, but the person who wrote it came from a different time.
Well,
My
if
brain
they-
hurts.
What I'm thinking is they got here somehow. Isn't there a Prince of Vedranis?
I don't know about Vedranis. I mean,
Maybe there is. Maybe that's
Maybe.
the prince they're referring to.
You've heard of a prince, I'd say Wisp, Knock, and Knock.
yeah, but I haven't.
I'm not sure if I'm not sure if Marcos has.
I will retcon. There is a prince.
There is.
Vedranis.
Oh, you seem certain about that.
Yeah, yep.
Both of you do.
I also second that. Prince.
One of our previous party members knew more than we did, and they told us there was a prince.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. I wish he was here now.
If these papers were created when they got here, maybe they just tried going by their own date. I don't know the relationship of that, but maybe that's why there are people trying to collect pieces of her. Maybe the prince wants something to do with the power that she can hold.
Yeah, maybe. Prince is trying to tap in, huh?
She rubs her head kind of and just like recollection of like all this crazy stuff. She shakes her head.
Well, first things first, and that's tea time.
Laura looks at the party and their afflictions, and she is trying to gauge if she has enough potent lore weed to accomplish what she would need to create essentially enough to help restore their bodies of these maladies.
Jerry comes up carrying the imp armful of lure weed he collected as well.
You think you might need a few more, but it's easy enough for you to get like 3 more little stalks of it to where you think that would probably be enough, barring you getting the rest of the ingredients from straw.
Yeah. She will gather everything up, use the rope that she now has, bundle it all together because this isn't going to fit in pockets.
Sure.
And look to the group. I don't know how you all are planning on leaving, but I can get out. Can you?
Yeah, we'll be fine.
And she says, okay, and when ready, I'll head home.
Marcoris walks over to Knock and puts an arm on his shoulder and casts gaseous form to turn Knock into a gas, and then flaps his wings and takes off.
I was hoping there'd be a little bit of fart joke in the fart joke.
Come on.
My children.
What is this?
Moment wasted. But,
I thought you were all opportunities.
He's sort of like,
Yeah, what do you
as
guys?
he like flaps away. He looks down at Wisp and he's like, I figure you can get, you're pretty nimble. You can get out by yourself. You can probably climb this wall, Wisp. You'll be fine. And he flies away.
Yeah, no, I'll be fine. I'm gonna try and scale the wall.
Yeah,
I'll do the whole like 60 feet up and then just climb the rest of the way.
Yeah, I'll say eventually the 4, 5, 6 of you, because Aiden and Jerry, I'll make it out of the pit.
Yay.
Begin making your way
No, we
towards...
leave Aiden there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jerks. Are you guys all headed back to Lady Lore's?
Fallen Lore, yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Just to be clear, I had to cast gaseous form to get out. So
I follow that fart.
Wait,
yeah.
I was not getting out.
I turned into a gas.
Turned into a gas.
Oh, okay.
And I fly with my wings.
I'll bamf and climb.
As a wisp does her bamf and climb, that's when Lure will become the fart cloud so she like launches up and
So
goes.
like I launch and it looks like
Yeah, that's what happened.
Mhm,
I love
mhm.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I have a sound just for this.
There you go.
Oh, thanks, Derek.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah. And because she can take what she's carrying too, she'll bundle all of it to her person and just make sure that she's got everything that she needs.
Okay. Sounds good. And the group of you begin heading back to Lady Lore's place to see what happens next. And that is where we will end for the night.
There's so much going on.
I feel like I got hit with a lore fire hose this week.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh man.
Hail, Amma.
Going through all the
Going on
notes.
Friday.
The Lure fire hose.
We need to this week. We need to get together and compare notes like we're studying for a friggin' history test.
That doesn't have the right dates.
Right, exactly.
That in of itself, I could dive into for hours about the theories I have about that. That is redonkulous. Oh, you're doing a hell of a job fucking our world up, Luna. Or fucking not Luna. I'm thinking Stella Luna because we're gonna raid Stella Luna, but
Yeah. Danae
fucking Lacuna.
and Lacuna. Both of them.
And Danae.
Incredible.
And all of you.
Danae's fucking
And
my
all of our
world up so hard right
Friends
now.
in chat.
I'm sorry, I'm fucking your
No, in the best way. She wants to become like your best friend, but she's also like really kind of like apprehensive of you now. She's
Yeah,
like,
welcome to my relationship with everyone.
Oh fuck. Like, who is she?
Who are
is she?
you? Who are you?
But yeah, thank you everybody so much for hanging out. Let's go around and see what the cast is up to in the next week, where we can find you all. Let's go opposite direction. So Justin, let's start with you.
Yeah, I'll tell you where you can find me as I'm streaming over on, well, I'm Doc Rimbo. I'm Doc Rimbo on Twitch. I'm Doc Rimbo on Twitter. I stream more than I used to. So come on by. I'm almost at 500 followers. So come on and jump in on that. And come watch me stream Wild RP, a Red Dead Redemption role-playing community. That's a lot of fun. But here is something more significant, which is this Monday here on InfiniteRP. You can come see the premiere of season 2 of Flames of Freedom, the revolutionary horror game, where it is the American Revolution and also zombies. And we're back with season 2. The Tamara Society, who is basically ye old X-Files, are now in New York, right at the beginning of the British occupation of Manhattan. And so they're going to be hunting monsters and fighting for freedom and questioning their morals. And it's great. It's super fun. The cast is amazing.
It's gonna be amazing.
It's so good. We're this season we are adding our friend Anna Nymeria as a full-time cast member. And so we've got a cast of 5 now, plus me, and it is so much fun. I can't wait for this season. It's gonna be a lot.
It's so good. And if you guys haven't missed any, there's maybe
go back on
still
YouTube.
time, and there's like 8 or 9 episodes, and they're all about 3 hours.
It's all about 3 hours. You still have time to catch up. You can go to the InfiniteRP YouTube and catch up on season 1. You don't need season 1 to get into season 2, but it's a lot of fun. It's really worth it.
But you should. We're super excited. We've been waiting for this one for a little bit.
Yeah,
Just the whole idea of it. Like reading kind of like, I don't know what I obviously can or can't reveal, just reading your guys' chat about what's been going on since then and what the Chimera Society like is now. It's like, yeah, it's Revolutionary War, Gothic Horror, X-Files meets not X-Men, but kind of.
It
like,
is a little bit like
the
like the Xavier School. Yeah. Also, it's wild.
It's gonna be great. So make sure to check that out. We're super excited. Ray, what are you up to? Where can we find you?
Oh, hey, I'm Ray, or with a brick, or just brick, everywhere on the interwebs with 2 Ks. You can find me here on Thursdays, as you can tell, playing Wisp, or you can find me over on my channel where I do a bunch of variety stuff. Lately, it's just been a lot of Red Dead RP, which I've been really kind of getting back into. Maeve has a good crescendo going on with her story at the moment, so it's been really fun to kind of play through that. Beyond that, just follow me on my socials for up-to-date stuff on everything else I'm doing. I can't talk about too much right now, but I've got stuff going on. So, yeah, thanks for having me again. I love being here. I love all y'all, and I can't wait for the story to fuck me up even more next week.
Yeah, we'll find out, right?
We'll find out what happens.
We'll find out what happens, but hell yeah. Danae, where can we find you? What are you up to?
Danae says on Twitch, that's DENEESAYS. You can also find me on Twitter at that, although I'm not very active on social media because it stresses me out. But I really enjoy my little carved out RP time. It's my fun little escape where I can jump in and tell stories with folks through a video game mechanisms, which has been delightful to continue. I started in July with 1 character and I now have 2. And yeah, I've really been enjoying just the different stories that are there. The last 2 things you can watch on my VODs on Twitch have some really fun, delightfully chaotic storytelling with some really fun people, specifically on Wild RP server, but you can find a lot of really incredible Red Dead 2 RPers in a lot of different places. So at the very least, check it out sometime and try to catch a raid, because there's so many wonderful people that you can find just by following the various stories from different angles. And so I highly recommend, if you're looking for really fun stories to jump into that are very visually kind of driven, there's some really incredible acting happening and really incredible stories in the roleplay community for Red Dead 2. So that's all on Twitch. And I think one more thing you could do is check out a couple of videos from CinemaSins. There's a couple of videos. I've had a couple of requests of people being like, I want to watch a video that you wrote on. We all write at CinemaSins. So they're all ours, but recently I wrote on Cruella, Bridesmaids, and Meet the Robinsons. So those are just a few you can go and check out. We also released a huge long video of everything wrong with the entire Avengers franchise recently, a couple weeks ago. And it's a big, long, chunky video that just crossed 1 million views a little bit ago. So that's just fun stuff for us. And so enjoy those.
Amazing. Oh boy. Derek, last but not least, what are you up to? Where can we find you?
You can find me atop my mountain, atop Derek's Mountain, on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, any of the places to which you like to consume content in or media. I was streaming just about 4 or 5 times out of the week. I've been a little inconsistent this week because my brain's been fucking everywhere else, but unfortunately making content. But I will be back tomorrow and the next day after that, playing some Red Dead, playing Wild RP, playing Super People, because that seems to be the game that's kind of grasping my attention. And yeah, I'll be hanging out on there. So come on and hang out, please.
Please.
Please. I like how you ask politely.
Of course. Get there, Dermot.
And I'm Cole, or Lacuna RP. You can find me at Lacuna RP on Twitter and Twitch. I've been wanting to start streaming again. It's like starting to get that itch to streaming it. We'll see if it happens. Where I play, I usually do RP as well on Wild RP. Sometimes I'll play random games. But on Wild RP, I play Roy Callender, who is a game warden with a Ranger Corps. You might see him on other people's streams if you watch Justin or Danae or Derek, you might see my ranger doing some ranger danger things.
Ranger danger.
Trying to herd the little
Ranger.
baby rangers around, making sure they don't get into trouble. So sometimes I also play a cult leader, but that's few and far between when I play Wily. But people like him, so that's something. They don't realize what he is, but they're like, "You're a great guy," and I'm like, "Yeah, but he's also a cult leader. You don't know." It's so good. But yeah, thank you everybody so much for hanging out. Please stay tuned after the credits. We're going to be reading Stella Luna. We love you. We'll hopefully see you on Monday for the premiere of Flames of Freedom, as well as the next episode of this wonderful campaign in next Thursday. So we'll see you then. Please be safe. Love yourselves, love each other, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.